Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Bad Rolls. We're gonna bring everybody onto the screen. Say hello to them, cast.
Hello.
My puppets.
Hello.
Hello.
See, I tell them to say hello, they say hello.
He controls our brains.
Well, it's because I've been watching Darren Brown. He's taught me things.
Which means anytime I do anything wrong, it's Grakees' fault.
Yep, but every time you do something right, it's my success.
Oh.
Yeah, good luck
Aha.
with that.
It's just like work.
Exactly! A dungeon master is just like a manager.
Exactly.
In today's episode, I'm going to have them fill out TPS reports.
Oh, God.
In that case, I want a pay rise.
Don't forget the cover page.
Wait.
You
I didn't
can't.
get the memo.
Here's 2 gold.
Wait, you get paid?
Exactly. Should be compensated for the murder I commit.
2 gold and some ale. You're not sure what that's worth. It just, it feels right to you.
Question is, how much is some ale?
More than a little and less than a lot.
What's a little to him, though?
A little bit, do you say?
Just a little bit.
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, stretch. Yes. It is D&D day. I'm so happy and relaxed. Because I know what's going on in this world. They're the ones on edge constantly. Me, I just get to see how they navigate it. For me, it's just so much fun.
Can't wait to mess with your brains.
So, of course, does anybody have announcements? Do we have any major things going on? Cool events, stuff like that?
Nope.
I would like to announce that somebody got affiliated.
I did. I did. You're pointing the wrong way, but I did.
Didn't even...
That way.
That way points
way,
over to an
yeah.
AFK. There you go.
Whatever.
I did in fact get affiliated. Next up, partnership. It's a long amount of work. Still more to do. I've got things I'm working on, but we'll get there.
It is indeed.
And besides, when I get there, that's only the beginning of a whole other segment. I don't see that as an end thing. Like, seriously, a lot of people are like, oh, I got partnered, I can relax. No, that just means you have to work that much harder. So, I'm a perfectionist. I always strive to give the best content. That's my major goal. The best content, and hope it gets recognized. So, improve my content, maybe they'll recognize it. That's the way to do it, I say.
Well,
Yup.
you're halfway there.
Also, to let everybody know, since we're going to be down a couple of people next weekend, we're not going to be able to do the show, because 3 people, it makes it a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, possibly, for the future, just to let our audience know, a schedule change, maybe. I'm going to see what we can do with the cast. And anything would be announced well ahead of time, so you know where to find us, when to watch. But we would give you that information well ahead of time. So working on that to see if, we can bring more interesting adventures to you. Because it's all about the story. All about the story.
And the base.
And the loot.
Mostly the loot.
Yeah, it's mostly loot. Let's be fair. If we play nice with Grakees, he gives us more loot.
Yeah, but do you see what I'm doing right now? What? You know that
Yeah.
loot that you got last time? It was all an illusion. It's gone.
I knew it!
You know, at least let me have this thing. This illusion of loot.
You still have all that money, Point, but no one else knows Raven has it. Everyone else lost all their stuff. You still have a ton of cash.
Yay!
But if anyone ever finds out about it, it disappears.
Oh no. So
The
it's
worst
like
kind of-
quantum loot. As
Yeah,
soon as
pretty
it's
much.
observed, it disappears.
Yes. Yep. It's Schrodinger's
Oh,
bag
boy.
of holding.
Oh no.
The moment you observe what is in the bag of holding, you find out the result, and it all disappears.
The bag of holding could be anything. Could even be a boat.
The bag of Ethan.
Could even be a boat.
It
Yeah.
could be a boat. That's true. Why don't you go inside and find out?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh no, he should double check. Really, like, spend some time searching in there. Just go on in. Go for it. Try
Just
it.
flip it upside down. See what happens.
Or inside out.
Oh.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and inside out a
That
bag of
sounds
holding.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah. Turning one of those inside out. Bad.
You don't know if it's a bad idea. Maybe nothing happens if you do it.
Maybe nothing, but
I doubt it.
yeah.
Well, as we have no other announcements, you know what it's time
No.
for then?
Recap.
It is time for a recap.
It's time for a miming session.
Previously on Bad Rolls, the Mino Taurists found themselves wandering into the Pouillon swamps and the town city of Fastador. Things were amiss there. People killing themselves. Races divided. And an unusual situation going on. They investigate further, find themselves directed towards the Temple District. There, they probe further and are sent off to a cemetery to the northwest of the town. Spending many a day investigating, going through, they work their way and eventually find a set of keys necessary, though having to fight off numerous nasty creatures, the undead, throughout this area, as well as finding a chamber that allows teleportation through a sequence of numbers that are apparently linked to specific locations. Finally, they open a set of doors, cross into a central area, proceed downward, and then are forced into this area by some sort of magical field coming from a set of obelisks. In there, they face off against a large, round, multi-eyed creature that fired off magical beams of death and destruction towards them. A center tomb sarcophagus set up with some sort of object on it holding a green mist. Prying it off and then destroying it, finding almost pieces of themselves ripped out, noticing that, in essence, through Garrett's brief mentions, that it was in fact attacking their souls directly. However, once the object was destroyed, a woman of a race they had not seen, who was cagey with that information when asked about it, appeared out through smoke and then forming into herself dark eyes with the gold circles. In reaching into the area where it is this sarcophagus, she presses a series of points on there, showing another device very similar to the one from the portal room. And in manipulating this, it opens up into a large workshop space. Tables for alchemical components, huge library, lots of information. Thankful to the Mino Taurists for her freedom, she offers them up items from one of her vaults. They are given a brief amount of time to collect a series of whatever they can in there before a portal collects them, throws them outside, and they find themselves once again in Fastador, though different now. The 6 temples instead, one large temple with multiple over the top. The race is not as divided in the streets. More familiar to Flint and Garrett from when they first arrived here, in seeing its details a little bit closer, knowing now they are not in this situation where it appears they were pulled into some sort of shadowy overlay of the past that had been put here. Whether it's dissipated or not, they're not certain. But they know that they are as much as they can tell in the present. And they seem to have accomplished what they were sent to accomplish in the cemetery. With that, they walked off to a nearby pub. And that is where we pick up.
So who's getting drunk?
I'm getting fed. And then I'm getting drunk.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Lots of food.
Are we at the Dancing Chicken Inn? Is that what it was?
I think that's where we were headed.
Yeah, it was the dancing chicken.
Excellent. Do their chickens dance?
They can.
I mean, if they don't, I'm gonna make Flint's chicken dance, but
Also, I need
You're
a
wondering
barber.
if it's
I got a bit of a hair issue going on.
We need a lot of things.
Mm.
We need food, we need drink, we need baths, we need sleep.
barber.
I need more arrows.
Yes. Need to restock.
I need some more javelins.
Well-
Flint looks like Cousin It right now.
Yes, he's got curtains of arm hair.
Yeah.
Flint, can I braid it?
No,
No, why?
not if you value your hands.
Well, you gotta sleep sometime.
I
Yes.
find an empty
Very
table.
lightly.
I try to find an empty table and sit down.
It is pretty busy in here, but there are a couple of empty tables off to the side. Most of the center's been taken up by all sorts of different folk in here. It is much like most of Tem, it is a pretty heavy mixture of all sorts of races through this area. Especially with a port in town, trade brings in a lot of different people.
All right.
So anything from swarthy seafaring dwarves to halflings sitting off and sharing drink in the corner, elves of different types, pure and half. Some dragonborn even seen throughout here. Humans, of course.
Seafaring dwarves. How crazy some of my brethren are.
You've been on a boat.
Not willingly.
I think you'll like it once you try it a few more times.
Well, the last boat we were on kind of exploded, so
Yes.
That
But then sucked
I
into-
will vouch for that not being normal with boats. They usually don't explode.
Usually.
Usually.
I think our general experience with boats, though, is that they do explode.
Circumstantial evidence.
Yes, the circumstances were we're on a boat. We exploded.
And then we have bad news. Table.
You have a table, yeah.
Yeah, but do we have menus?
There are actually menus at the table.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does
I
the
mean,
menu
we
contain
know how the
chicken?
hand order thing works.
But are we at that place? Does that place still exist?
We'll find out. What does the menu say?
Hold on. Apologies, I'm fixing my retweet command real quick.
That's all right.
Right.
I forgot to change the number.
Oh.
It's a new command. So that led to an old tweet. I forgot I have to do that every stream now.
Is that a deep bot thing?
Yeah. I don't know how to get it to auto do that yet.
Yet.
There, that should be fixed. Apologies. Okay, so yeah, there are menus sitting at the table.
Do they look like normal menus? Are they like sign language menus?
Looking at them, there isn't a numbering on the side. It is a listed menu, very basic, 2 pages, drinks, top section, soups, main meals, and some desserts. But no numbers next to them.
I will have the chicken and the ale.
Can I see a waiter or waitress?
There are some servers that are maneuvering throughout the pub.
Can I
So-
see anyone that appears to be taking orders?
They are going over to people that have sat down, carrying food over. One of them looks over to you, looking at them, and gives you a signal of 1 moment.
Okay.
But they do appear to be notating orders. They seem to be pretty good at it. They don't have to write them down. People are ordering to them. They go into the back. Food is being retrieved. After waiting for a couple of moments, a decently dressed, nice tunic, half-elven man approaches. Light brown hair, probably, mid-20s or so. Can I assist any of you with anything? Do you need information on your menus, or are you ready to order?
I will have the roast chicken. I think he will as well, the tiny hairy man there.
Not very tiny, but he is hairy.
Chicken.
I would like chicken, please.
Roast beef.
Roast beef? No.
Well, for me, you can have chicken. Have all the chickens.
What if I told you you can have both roast beef and chicken?
That's a lot of food.
And we haven't eaten for a long time.
True. I haven't slept either.
That doesn't mean the size of our stomachs have expanded.
Oh,
Probably the
Speak for
opposite.
yourself.
I'm feeling very, very injured right now. Very tired, very hungry, very sober. I want to resolve at least all of those right now.
Chicken and alcohol.
We do have rooms available. If you ask over at the bar, they can set you up. If you,
Yeah.
We'll,
unless you'd like me to do that for you.
Wow. No. Yes.
we'll take beds for 5 and a lot of alcohol and food, please.
And for you, I think I'm going to go with the roast beef. Sorry, Flint, it is different. Too much chicken lately. You
What?
sure you don't want the roast beef?
What's wrong with the chicken?
We always have the chicken. Fine, fine. You have the chicken. I will have the roast beef. And in the morning, you will feel beautiful.
That certainly hope so. Right now, I just feel hungry, airy, sober.
Yes. Two of
The
those
hair,
things.
it is quite luxurious. It is silky smooth. I cannot say anything bad about this hair.
Mm.
The waiter looking at you a little bit oddly. 5 rooms. Bath access. Okay. It will be added to the final tab, and you pay. We'll bring you the keys.
Fine. Hey, quick question.
No,
How long has this
yes.
been here?
As long as I've been alive.
All right, just curious.
Didn't you used to have different menus?
Not that I know of. These are the ones I trained on.
What's the story behind the name? Why the dancing chicken?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Though that gentleman over there, and you see he points over to an older dwarven gentleman working behind the bar. Hair pulled back, dark black with gray through it. A very, very long beard, though, braided up finely with nice gold holding it together at the bottoms. It is combed through neatly, and a nicer looking blouse. Yes, that's Strakmar, and he's from this region, and he owns the tavern establishment. He still works the bar and likes to get to know the patrons, but I'm sure he could tell you.
Okay.
All right.
I'll ask
All
Drakmar.
right. Well, I will go and put your order in with the kitchen, and we'll have your meal shortly. And he
Thank you, sir.
proceeds to walk away.
All right. Something's fucky.
Well,
Why?
yeah, obviously.
Just because a dwarf owns a bar? That's racist.
Shut up.
Well,
What's wrong, Flint?
you make me think.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Do you need Garrett to make you feel beautiful?
Are you saying
I can
that
make him
this
feel beautiful.
place is some kind of illusion?
Well,
I'm not sure about illusion, but it doesn't seem like the same place we came in at.
I'm not particularly comfortable that we're in a bar that is called the Dancing Chicken, and these guys are saying it's always been called that.
Well,
Because we know why it's named a dancing chicken.
Yes.
It's her fault.
yeah, but we were hopping around in time there, weren't we? So maybe I don't know.
We go
Are you saying we're in the future?
Um,
we'd be way in the future.
maybe, or we were in the past and now it's the present. I don't know. It's weird. It's timey-wimey.
My brain hurts.
Yeah.
Don't torture the poor dwarf.
Yeah, I shouldn't have made him think. I'm sorry.
He doesn't have many hit points left.
What are hit points?
I don't know, but he doesn't have many.
I don't think he could withstand many hits.
No,
I think
not
he's
to the
pretty
brain.
No, especially not to the brain.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
This seems like something to figure out in the morning, though, because we're all tired. we're all
Yeah,
hurt.
let's just not worry about things for a while. At least like 12 hours, and then we can start worrying about things again.
Yeah.
you know, I'm kind of worried.
No, stop. Don't.
Hey. Raven, do you still have that piece of leather with the symbol on it?
I do. Well, last I checked.
We might want to keep that handy.
Okay. It's in my bag.
All right. Anyway, food, drink, bed.
Yes. Preferably in that order.
After a couple of minutes, food is brought out to your table. Chicken for most of you, though roast beef for Raven and Garrett. Drinks are placed across the table. The ale here is pretty top shelf. You didn't specify, so they went with the most expensive.
Of course.
I mean, we can afford it, hopefully. Unless we suddenly need future money.
We don't know, do we?
Hmm?
No. Oh, without with just using for ourselves. Don't worry about it.
Of course, sir. And if you'd like to... Rooms for one night, yes?
Let's
For
start
now.
out with one and see how
Start
we
with
go
one.
from there.
We go with one
course.
with chance for expansion.
And bath access. Understood. And you see him walk over to the bar and start speaking with the dwarven gentleman.
It's not like we need more than one bath because none of these other people are going to.
Last time you took a bath, you turned into a chicken, alright?
An owl bear.
Close enough.
A gopher.
Who's proficient in perception again?
I think I
I
am.
think I am as well.
I know. I don't think I'm proficient.
That's what I'm looking for to see. If
I am. I had to because I
was.
was rolling so crappy.
I'm going to be proficient when I get my next proficiencies.
Were you Zangulus?
I'm proficient in perception.
Okay, you and
No, I am
Raven make a
I am
perception check.
proficient in exception. Perception, not exception.
Okay, you as well then, Carrick.
Where is my d20? There it is.
Wow, I don't see shit. Well, 10.
Well, given that we're not in an outhouse, that's a good thing.
19.
Much better than my 10.
Yes.
Um,
So I hopefully see what we're
11.
supposed to see.
Hmm?
See what I see.
What was that, Raven?
11.
Okay. Zangulus?
10.
Total?
Yeah.
All right,
I
you
don't
two
see-
are too distracted by the joking and the jovial atmosphere and being alive, as well
Yes.
as the thoughts of a room and bath and the food in front of you. However, you, Carrick, you catch sight of someone over at the bar that is speaking with the bartender as the waiter goes. You kind of tracked sight of the waiter, and that's how you spotted him. He has a blue tunic on with gold etching, and as he turns, you see a symbol of an obelisk in a patch sort of crest put into the robe work. And as he's speaking to the bartender and the waiter walks over and seems to have acknowledgement, the robed person, though the hood's up, you can't really see his face, looks over in your direction.
I think someone's watching us.
What?
I feel like someone's always watching us.
All right. Nobody turn and look. Actually, even shouldn't say it because Flood would turn instantly.
Yeah, that causes people to turn and look.
Okay. Just know that somebody's watching.
Who's somebody? Somebody we should be worried about? Like, do they look dangerous?
I don't know yet. They have a robe with a obelisk symbol. Can I roll to find out if I know what that symbol is?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and just roll me straight wisdom.
Wisdom?
Yep. D20 plus your wisdom.
13.
You remember it pretty clearly because it hasn't been that long since you've seen it. That is Tem proper. That is the crest of Tem. the obelisk in the center of with the blue and gold. So blue, gold, and the obelisk crest is the colors and the symbol of Tem.
Just wait. Don't we know? Does an obelisk sound familiar?
We just saw an obelisks in that weird room.
No, wait. Oh, it's Tem.
Well,
They're Temites?
Is that what you call people from Tem?
Because they're like termites, right?
With that, you
Sure.
hear a, we prefer Temians from behind you.
See what you did. That was you.
I'm keeping Temites because that makes me laugh. So,
All right. Good
you
sir,
want?
who are you and what do you want?
Carrick, Sangulus, Raven, Flint, and Garrett, I presume. I am a messenger from Master Domo Sekmoth. We've been searching for you for some time. We've kept eyes out for when you reappeared. Scrying gave us no insight as to your location, and we thought you for dead.
What do you mean sometime?
that's sort of the question. We don't know how long we've been gone.
You're unaware of... How long have you been in the southern region?
We don't even know.
We have no idea.
do you want to know how long it feels like? Because it
Eight.
feels like a long time.
We think it's been a week or two.
14
can we
months.
take, like, What?
What?
14 months?
You've been gone for 14 months. The war preparations are continuing. To the point where I don't need to keep it a secret that there are war preparations continuing.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah. We definitely physically weren't gone 14 months.
You've been gone from here for 14 months. And, well, the Master Domo wishes to speak with all of you.
Yeah, we probably want to speak with him too, because things are really, really messed up.
Because
Right.
apparently we were gone for 14 months.
Well, then you need to provide a full debriefing.
But we're just eating. Come
Can
on.
we just have 12
Tomorrow.
hours? 24.
Tomorrow.
Just chill. We've been under a lot of stress lately.
My orders are to bring you to Tem immediately.
Can you pretend you didn't see us until tomorrow?
Roll a persuasion check.
I haven't persuade jack shit. 5.
You see him kind of stand up more upright and very official as he pulls a scroll out and hands it over to you with a wax seal on it.
What's it say?
Please tell me he handed it to Flint.
No, he handed it to you, Zangulus, since you were the
Alright.
one that was trying to convince him.
I'll read it then.
Cracking the seal, you unfurl it and notice that at the top it says Mino Taurists or those associated with whom have been found. You are to report to Tem immediately upon receiving this letter. The member of the Order of the Magus of Tem has been dispatched to bring you without loss of any further time. Debriefing will be commenced immediately, and then you will be free to proceed as you wish.
Look, bloke. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. And I'm bloody goddamn tired. You want if you want to come and brief me right now, good. bloody luck. Because if I ain't sleep soon, I'm gonna go up raging some faces right now.
Roll an
And trust me, you don't want that.
intimidation, and you're looking pretty messed up. No disadvantage on this, just straight intimidation.
Yeah, he'd look like hell.
Yeah, that's why I'm factoring that in.
My charisma's poo though, but 12.
Oh.
As he looks at you, you see him start to kind of take a little bit more of a defensive posture, and not subtly, you see an arcing of blue arcane magic between his fingers. I wouldn't attempt anything stupidly.
We're attempting sleep.
Okay.
You
Alright.
haven't met me,
Okay.
obviously.
Okay. Everybody calm down. It's in your best interest for you to let us rest for at least 12 hours. Give us 12 hours to rest. You probably have some fancy teleport or something, and then we can go. We just want food, alcohol, and sleep. That's all we want.
You've been waiting 14 months, so 12 hours more, give or take, isn't gonna kill you.
Persuasion with advantage from her help, Carrick. Difficulty's going up, though.
Oh.
It's been going up. Every time you fail, it goes up
Oh, I
more.
bet.
Good figures on advantage, because the first one was a 3, and the second one was a 19.
Hey.
And with my persuasion, that is 27.
Oh, holy cow. Jeez.
He looks at you and you see him stop the magic. Softens a bit. All right, we have been waiting 14 months. If there's any trouble on me, it's on your heads, and I will make sure you're punished for it.
Look, we have no intention of running away or doing anything stupid. We just want to rest. Like,
Oh,
that's
you
all we want.
you won't be able to run.
I don't want to run. I don't.
We're
Yeah,
tired
just
of running.
I'm so tired. If I were to run, I wouldn't even make it to the door.
You look like you've been through hell, and I'm not one that lacks compassion. I just have orders. However, in light of the fact that you are quite beaten, obviously, and seem to have come out the other side of something harrowing, let me take care of this briefly. He brings out a note of paper and a quill, writes something down on it, folds it up and whispers into it, and then releases it from his hand. You watch as the paper just disappears and vanishes. There, the message has been delivered. All of you will be brought back to Tem after a rest. So, have your meals, find a bed, and do find a bath.
Yeah, that's one mistake for days, but, you know, just barbarians will listen.
Oh, I'm taking a bath.
Oh,
Believe I'll be
once in
finding
your
myself a
life.
room for the night. Well, all of you, we leave at daybreak tomorrow. I will
That's
give you that
fine.
much time. That is as much time as I can give.
That is fair. Thank you.
Meet me in front of the docks as the sun rises.
cool.
He didn't want to test me, that guy. You only get between the dwarf and his chicken.
Fun.
Nothing's easy.
All right.
You see him walk off to the
We'll
bar.
see you tomorrow. Now, where the hell is my chicken?
It's in
Didn't
front
I
of
bring
you.
it?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
I
still
w-
there, Carrick.
I was, you know,
Distracted.
distracted.
After partaking of time with a meal. 15, 20 minutes pass, and the waiter returns over to your table. Well, in order to get your rooms, your bill is due. It is 10 gold for the night per room.
Of course it is.
That is bath access for each room.
Yes. Yeah, we all need one. That's
And
fine. That's fine.
your meal totals come to another 10, so 60 gold in total for the bill.
60
Raven.
gold to rest in a
Raven.
bed. What? Calm down. I'm not disagreeing. I think we deserve it, so that's fine. 60 gold is more than fair.
I mean, if we deserve it, I would like a slice of your finest chocolate tart.
He gets his
Um,
own separate tab.
No, I don't.
Yes, sir? That's...
Does anyone else want dessert?
No.
No,
Flynn,
I'm good.
you look like a dessert man.
I just want chicken, booze, and sleep. That's it.
Chicken can be dessert.
I'll have a second round of chicken.
That's one other gold then between the dessert and the chicken. So 61.
Fantastic.
Okay. I pocket up. I depocket the gold. There you go.
Thank you. And you see him, he takes that, puts it into a pouch on his left side, and proceeds to put 5 keys down on the table and walks off to the kitchen.
More keys.
It's fine. These don't have legs.
Oh, Keith.
And when we open these doors, they won't try to kill us. I hope.
Don't remind me. Well, before I go to bed, I want to talk to Burly Dwarf behind the bar, but I'm going to finish my roast beef first.
I forgot what I named him. Because I just grabbed one of my random NPC names, but I forgot which one I wrote down. I forgot to write it down.
It's like Stakar or something.
Skyguard.
Stygard.
I don't know.
Stickard.
It was something like that.
Thought it started with a D. Well, I'll give him another name then. Retconning. Go to my list. Forgot to write it down.
You're the one always telling us to take notes.
Yes. I'm tracking so much damn stuff. He's a throwaway NPC.
So we don't need to write this name down, is what you're saying.
No, always write a name down because you never know what's going to remain a throwaway NPC. That's why I have to write all those goddamn
3
names down.
years from now, Grakees is like, hey, you remember that guy's name?
No, it's more like you guys are going to, hey, let's go see that guy we saw 3 years ago. And I'm going, fuck. Which one was it?
Yeah.
All right, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go take a bath.
I'm also going to go take a bath. What?
Okay.
I'm going to talk to Stendar or whatever his name is.
Who was Drac there?
Steve.
Steve. I'm going to talk to Steve.
Steve. I'm gonna finish my chicken, and I'm gonna take my ale and one leg of the chicken. I'm gonna head to my room because I'm freaking exhausted.
You are.
All right.
I go up to the bar and tell him like deliver my chocolate cake to my room, and I go to my room.
Right, so. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
He just flags someone down. brings him over, just kind of looks, he's like, you see him saying something to him. They look back at you for a second and sends him back off to the kitchen.
I probably accidentally ordered a prostitute or something now.
Accidentally.
Everyone else?
I'm going into the bath.
All right.
Actually taking the bath.
You see that the keys are labeled on their edges, and they lead to the second floor. You all have the second floor, the 5 rooms up there. -1, there's a 6th. So there's 3 on each side of the hallway as you get to the top. Or you get to the landing of that floor. There's 3 on either side of the hallway, and at the far end is a room marked bathroom.
I will go straight to the bathroom.
All right, you get there, door's locked.
Can I open it with the key?
Key unlocks it.
Okay. Go inside. Throw my stuff off. Pour myself a bath.
All right, you walk over. It is very much like the tubs you saw before, where you're able to speak a word and it does magically fill with water and heats itself. But there is 1 bathtub in this large room. There is a stall for some privacy of indoor plumbing. So there is indoor plumbing in this for a toilet, essentially, as well as a closet for storing stuff if you're going to bathe. It's not a very large room. It's enough to fit the toilet, the little bit of a stall for some privacy in case someone has to use it or decides to use that instead of a chamber pot, and the bathtub itself.
Alright. Well, I will jump into the bathtub.
So you're about halfway through removing your armor when, Carrick, you get to the second floor and notice there's 6 rooms up here and there is 1 bathroom at the end.
There's only the 1 bath.
You see a hallway with 6 room doors and a bathroom at the end. Door closed.
God damn it. Last time I was here, they had a personal bath. Now I'll just go to my room and wait for my goddamn cake.
All right, you head to your room. Your key is the second door on the left, so you get a front view of the streets. It's room 22. Your keys were 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25.
All right.
I rolled randomly. Zangulus, you took 24.
Okay.
Since you guys didn't say you were looking for specific ones, I just rolled randomly and distributed them for you.
That works.
Raven, you see Garrett sitting next to you, starting to look a little tipsy, exhausted. That sounds perfect. No, I'm tired, but I want to be beautiful. I think it will be beautiful with the bath.
Are you gonna need help getting upstairs, Garrett?
Are you asking to be beautiful with me in the bath?
No. I'm asking if you were gonna fall and hurt yourself going up the stairs.
I will be fine. I have been more
Okay.
drunk with more stairs.
Okay.
Why am I waving around the chicken bone? I did not order the chicken.
It happens.
That landed in your green screen, by the way.
I know. I could see it.
Okay.
And he gets up, stumbling, walks up the stairs.
I'm gonna go to the bar and take a seat. I haven't imbibed too much yet.
All right. You head over to the bar, plop yourself down. There's a barmaid working the bar. She's older human, probably early 50s or so. graying blonde hair pulled back into a very tight, like, working bun, but nice clothing and blouse. So she's well presented, even though she looks like she's been working quite hard. She's still making sure to keep up an appearance here, even a step above the wait staff. So she looks as if she might be in charge in some way, or possibly another owner or investor that also does work in the bar. She looks that much of a step above. More of a silk in the tunics, bright colorings.
What is she doing? Just
Right
waiting
now
on-
she's just working the bar with other people, along with the older dwarven gentleman who's also working the bar with multiple, like, the bar is far busier than the dining area, which is pretty full.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get the attention of the dwarf.
How so?
I'm gonna tap the bar and kind of do this.
Okay. The woman notices you and moves over in your direction. She's the one that spotted you.
All right. Hi. Nice place you got here.
Thank you.
Who owns this establishment?
Myself and my husband.
What? Can you tell me the story behind how the bar got its name? Assuming there is one, and just didn't make it up.
Oh, it's it's a bit of a folktale, actually. It's long ago folktale. There was apparently. Well, how much do you know of the history of our fair town?
I'm not from around here, so just assume I know nothing. You'll probably be right.
I have taken it in my time in my life to learn about the city. It is fun. And you wanted to drink. What can I get you?
Mead, please.
We have some very fine selections of mead.
On a scale of like bad to super fine, give me like a 3.
So, not our cheapest, but just above.
Somewhere in the middle, yeah.
We have that. She goes over and pulls a bottle. Pours it in, slides it across to you and everything.
Thank you.
2 silver.
Okay. Here you go. I give her 3.
Silver?
Yeah.
You don't have any silver. You carry gold
don't?
and... No, not as far as I know.
I have 8.
Oh, you do? All right, 3 silver then.
All right.
And you guys are adventurers. That's part of the problem with adventurers. You buy in bulk.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yes, it's not often that people ask about the history of our city. There are folklore about long ago there was some incident. It consumed our town. It left the ghosts that many people like to take tours of in the fall months. We are quite famous for it. The clerics come here and try to investigate the spirits, and arcane users like to look into it, but you see them from time to time, and it is said that the whole region was lost for a time before it was resettled. However, through all of that, there were a group that intervened. They tried to stop what was happening. It isn't known what happened to these people, but at one point it was stuck with someone who left, who had gotten out, that there was an argument, despite all of the horrible goings on, there was a jovial argument between them. And they came in looking once again for dancing chickens. That they seeked these dancing chickens out. Nobody knows what it means, if this was code for something much more, but it kind of stuck. And in learning about this, when my husband and I bought this location, now would be over 30 years ago, I was quite young. I renamed it because I always liked the story. I always wanted to know about the dancing chickens.
What was the name originally?
This location was actually not a tavern originally.
What was it?
This location, it was, before this, I believe it was a tannery.
Wow. You've really taken it a long way.
It's been a lot of work, but we have enough coming through, and I had family recipes, and he had family brewing history, and so we aim for a fine selection. It's a lot of hard work, but we live comfortably because of it.
That's great. You've really done very well. And thank you for your time. I know you're probably busy.
To be honest, I needed a bit of a break.
Are you okay? You just tired?
It is an exhausting day.
Oh, I'm sure. But well, thank you. I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to take this to my room and enjoy it and pass out. Because I've had a very long day myself.
Man,
It was like, it's practically been a day that's taken 2 years, so.
I believe we've all had days like that.
Yeah.
She kind of reaches out and gives your hand a pat in a very motherly sort of way.
Ah. So, I will take my
You
leave
go
from the
rest
table.
and enjoy your accommodations.
Thank you. And I'll leave a gold behind for her.
Oh, very kind. Thank you.
Good night. Head upstairs. Keep an eye out for any drunken Garretts.
Right? You head on up. As you were having this conversation, your food arrives at your room, Carrick. You hear a knock on the door, and they're there holding a dish with... It isn't a chocolate souffle. It was the chocolate thing that they had on the menu and assumed that's what you meant. It is a dense, like, layered chocolate cake. But it is a chocolate cake-like thing, so that is what they gave you.
Thank you. 1 second. Get in my pouch and give them a gold.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is
Is
there
there...
something nice?
I will. Is there anything else I can help you with, sir?
No. Good here. Actually, could you go down the hall and check if the spelly elf is done in the bathroom?
I will inform you if the bathroom is free, sir.
Thank you.
As that's happening, you notice as you're shutting your door, little halfling walk by. Zangulus, you hear a at the door.
What?
Sir, are the accommodations almost available?
5 more minutes.
I will inform the Mr. in room 22 then.
Perfect. Jerk in room 22.
You hear a knock, Carrick.
What?
I said Carrick, not Zangulus.
Oh.
He
He's-
might be wanting for us.
He's back over at Carrick's room, so he knocks for you, Carrick.
I open the door. Hello?
He asked for 5 minutes.
Fine. Fine. I thank
It
you.
is occupied by someone. You are quite welcome. And thank you again, sir. Bows to
No
you.
problem.
Turns off to go about his business. Hearing that, let's see if he would. Because this is... Oh, yeah, he would. You hear a click, click at the door. No knocking, no nothing. And the door is tossed open as you see Garrett walking in, drunk.
Not surprised.
I thought I recognized the voice. The bat, it does you good. You are looking beautiful.
Yeah, well, we all need to take baths at some point, I guess. Otherwise, this stupid carrot's gonna keep crying and complaining.
We do. And he starts to just unstrap his armor.
Yep, I figured he would. By the time he gets his armor off, I'll be done though. So.
Yeah, how long are you going to spend in the bath while he's getting his armor off?
Oh, not very long. Yeah,
Okay.
probably until he gets his armor off.
It's taking him a while. He's drunk and he's fumbling with it, so it's been a good 10 minutes now.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't even last that long.
Okay, so you get out of the bath when he's still
Phrasing.
fumbling at the straps, trying to take the armor off. Oh, you are done, I see. It is good that you are not shy around me as much anymore. The form, it is beautiful.
Sure. Bath's all ready for you, little man.
I will enjoy it.
Are you in room 22?
No, I'm 25.
Somebody's gonna get a surprise.
Okay.
Bye. Dry myself off, quickly put my clothes on, and walk out with my stuff.
All right, you throw your clothes on, carry your armor with you.
Yep.
You walk out of there with your stuff. What are you doing?
I go to my room.
Oh, you just go to your room? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you head down the hall to the end, open 24.
Lay my stuff down. And go sit on the bed.
All right. You go into a meditative state. Flint, what have you been doing during this time? Are you just passed out in your room?
You're on mute.
You're muted.
Lots of talking that we can't hear.
Still muted.
Yes.
All right, you're in room 21, Flint.
Okay.
So you got room 21. You're passed out in there. Carrick, it has been 15 minutes now.
Oh, God. What's taking you so goddamn long? Have I heard like any doors like opening or closing?
Roll me a perception. You probably would have been listening for it.
17.
You did hear a door in the hallway close a few minutes ago. You just finished with your dessert, though, so thinking about it, he might be out of the bath, or it could be another person.
He's probably done by now. I go down the hall, check the bathroom.
Door's unlocked as you get there.
Fantastic. Walk in.
As you walk in, you get a full view of Garrett bent over, reaching down to take the boots off, the pants already down, staggering a little bit, full moonshot.
God damn it, I was gonna bath.
Rocks! You here for the bath too? We can share. It is not a big problem. The form is normal.
Form is nothing but normal.
You're very touchy normally. I'm not sure if I want to share a bath with drunk you when you're probably even more touchy.
This is true. I am touchy when I'm drunk. I am touchy
Yes.
normally. I'm just touchy.
Just like knock on my door when you're done or something.
I will do this. Are you sure? It is not a problem. You will feel beautiful.
I'll feel beautiful some other time.
You should feel beautiful all the time. But I understand. He goes back to finishing taking off his clothes, and you see him climb his way up, fall over into the full tub, and water just goes everywhere as he pops back out because he's not very tall. He's basically standing with his head above the water.
I close the door and go back to my room.
All right, you head back to your room. About an hour passes, and then you finally hear,
Finally! I go open the door.
Garrett's there, stark naked.
Not surprised.
The bath is yours. I will
Right.
go to my room now.
Fantastic. See you tomorrow.
Enjoy. And as you walk past, whap! Just gives you a smack across the butt. Walks off to his room. Goes inside.
I do have a very smackable butt.
Taking your time to enjoy a nice bath now. All to yourself.
Finally.
Raven, what are you doing during this time? Did you just go straight to your room?
I go to my room. I'm not interested in taking a bath at this time. I'm going to safeguard my stores. I'll take out all the gold loots and platinum loots and take the pillowcases off the bed, put the gold and the platinum in the pillowcases, and then put the pillowcases in the bag of holding.
Got it.
And then I can think about bathing.
Okay.
But I don't know how long that would take me. So I don't know who will be in the bathroom when I'm done.
So, yeah, there's quite a bit of gold to go through. Quite a bit of platinum. You end up having to, properly to get the gold, you stuff one pillowcase. You get the platinum in another, and notice there's still quite a bit of gold left. So you end up taking a sheet from a nearby, like, armoire. Open it up, and... Is that the right... Nah, I don't care. You open it up, and you get the sheet out. You tie it together in a bundle. Retie it multiple times over so it's really secure, and then put that into the bag of holding. So that takes you a good amount of time to rig up, make sure everything's secure, make sure coins aren't spilling out, because you're very meticulous about those things.
Oh, yeah.
As I know. So takes about an hour. Get that done.
All right. So after that point, I'm going to go check out the bathroom.
As you get to the bathroom, you find the door locked.
Okay.
It's busy.
I didn't knock. Can
No,
you
but
hear?
you tried the door.
I did. All right. So knowing that it's Carrick in the room, I'm going to try to quietly as possible rig a trip trap right outside the door. So when he comes out, he will fall and I think I still have. I don't know if I do. I think I still have the sweaty foot juice from Flint.
Oh.
You do. You put it in the bag of holding.
All right.
How did you keep that?
Why
She
would
said
you
she
keep
put it
that?
away for later.
She did.
Hmm. I'm going to hang that from the ceiling at Carrick's face height and cast invisibility on it.
You have invisibility?
I do.
Oh my god. Okay. You can do that. Let me check the spell.
I
check
think
this.
I don't know if it can be cast on inanimate objects, but
I don't know. I
Wow.
think it can't.
It-
My spell book is over there.
well, considering there was that box that I made invisible in this world, I did make inanimate objects possible to be invisible if made that way. And this is a simple use, and the rule of cool applies, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna allow it.
all right.
I'm going to allow it. It says creature, but I'm going to allow it for this simple object, as long as it maintains the rest of the spell's parameters.
All right, so I'm going to rig that first, because that's probably the quieter part of it. I will go in my room to cast a spell lest any sounds or anything go wrong. And then I have some yarn, and I'm just going to tack it to the ceiling.
Okay.
And then I have some... Oh, you know what would be better? All right, I don't do the trip trap. I pour some ball bearings on the floor.
Oh.
You're just trying to make this worse.
Yeah. I saw it in my inventory. I'm like, ooh, I haven't used these yet.
Okay. You,
Should have never opened your mouth, Carrick.
first roll me athletics. Because I'm going to see if you can get up to tack it up on the ceiling. Because that's what you said you're tacking it from. And you're not tall enough to reach the ceiling.
I can use my mage hand, maybe, but that's kind of... that would be tricky.
Let me get my spell book, because it's probably going to be required in the future.
8.
You try to find purchase somewhere to get up there, but to be able to hold yourself and put it on the ceiling, you don't have anything that could do that
Okay.
in the hallway as it is.
Plan B, tack the string to either side of the wall at face height.
That's easy enough
With
to do.
with the shoe sponge in the middle.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. So you tack it up. You've got a piece of yarn now strung across. And the sponge of juices, which to get it to stay is a little difficult. It's taking you now in the neighborhood of 10 minutes to do this. And I
Alright.
need you to roll me a stealth while you're doing this.
Come on, dice. Don't fail me now. 16.
Okay. What's your because I don't have the sheet open. Your perception?
My passive perception?
Passive
Or just
perception, no, for Carrick. Passive.
Oh,
I think yours is 14, isn't it?
see what this sheet actually calculates that. How do you calculate it otherwise?
I can't remember how to calculate
Oh,
passive
no, it's
perception.
14. Yeah.
It is 14? All right, that's what I thought. My calculations were right. You're just having a grand old time in a bath. It is relaxing. The water has little bubbly jets in there.
Ooh.
There's spouts that add different, like, bath salts to the bath to make it fizz and different soaps to make it bubble. It is fancy for a bath. That's probably why there's only one here. But it is pretty damn fancy, and to get access to it isn't cheap. So now you know why your rooms were so expensive. But it is a really nice bath.
I have minor illusioned a tiny rubber duck.
So you have yourself an illusionary rubber ducky.
Yep.
Which you are very aware is an illusion. Kind of makes you a little bit upset that you don't have a real one. You're just like, oh.
It's my traveled rubber duck.
Aw. So, you don't hear any noises from the other side of the door there, Raven? That would indicate someone noticed you doing this. You take a good time. Just roll me a dexterity, just straight up dexterity. Because getting this cloth to balance properly with it weighted as much and not pull down the tacked up yarn, not easy because it's invisible too. So maneuvering it's not always the easiest.
19.
You're able to do it in that 10-minute time, and you do it pretty quietly. You're rather proud of yourself, and you think you have it centered up by feeling along the yarn and then squish. So you got a little bit of flint foot juice on your hands there. Your hands are not pleasant.
Yeah.
I'll have you know my juice is very pleasant.
So,
All right. So
with that, you've
once I
layered
get
down
the,
ball bearings.
yeah, I try to get the ball bearings a little farther away from the door so he'll hit the face sponge first, and then he'll hit the ball bearings.
All right. Try to layer those down a little ways out, just a bit, quietly. So, stealth.
My dice want me to do this, man. 23.
Ooh,
22, sorry. Bad math.
quiet as a damn mouse.
No, I don't.
When you're picking on Carrick.
Quiet as a mouse. You are really proud of this work. You feel like all this adventuring has improved your capabilities in ways that you more prefer.
Yes,
And
this is great.
the line that you took with the magics and the path you were
This is what I was
following,
born for.
it feels right. This sort of thing feels just right.
All right. As much as I would love to stick around and watch, I should probably not. And just listen from my room.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll hear something.
Carrick, you've been in the bath now for about an hour and a half at this point.
Yep. Finishing up, finally.
You are pruny as all get out. A little bit beet red,
That's
but
how I like it.
scrubbed up good.
I am now clean.
Okay. Getting dressed here or just going back to your room?
I'm gonna get my pants on, throw my jacket over my shoulder, and just get back on the room.
All right, so you pull up the pants, jacket, any armorings over the shoulder, open the door to go to your room, roll perception check for me.
10?
You've sort of rubbing your eyes, you know, that sort of toweling off the face thing. And as you're doing that, you move your hand away, you catch something wet against your face that smells horrifying. You get a little bit of, you don't even know what in your mouth. You start retching, flailing around. Now roll me a dexterity save with disadvantage.
Oh.
Ooh.
I like the sound of that.
That was a 2, which is still a 9, but
Yeah.
Raven, from inside your room, you hear the ball bearing sound now, the sliding around. Carrick, there are ball bearings under your feet. They hurt the bottom of your feet a bit, but you can't keep yourself stable. You start flailing around, and then enough to wake you, Flint, from slumber. Very obvious to you, Zangulus. You all hear a loud crash from the hallway.
What is that idiot doing?
Yep. I'm just on the floor, like, ow.
I'm dancing in my room.
Yeah, Flint, you're wide awake now, Flint. Out of sleep from a loud crash in the hall. That's what you know. You heard a loud crash in the hallway that woke you up.
Raven.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just in my room. I'm gonna go to bed and lock the door first. But I'm gonna go to bed and pretend to be asleep.
What?
I stand up.
Do
Clear
you?
out. Yep, well, I'll try to.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
That's a 3.
As you go to stand up, what? You don't hold it in. That taste, it is horrifying.
Oh no!
Right in the corner of the hall, you just can't hold it back anymore. Just all your chocolate, your dinner, all of it just gone.
I go back into the bathroom.
You rush over to the indoor plumbing section of the bathroom, spend a good hour scrubbing your face again, retching your guts out. Exhausted, you finally make your way back out and notice the nasty grayed, sickly cloth hanging there on yarn now that has come to appear out of nothingness. Roll me a wisdom. Just straight wisdom.
Oh, now you roll high. 20?
You remember that cloth very much as the Flint boot juice cloth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that cloth is. You remember, you recognize that cloth. Yep.
I go and get a towel from the bathroom and wrap the cloth in it, or wrap the cloth in it.
All right. It's
Yeah.
easy enough to do that. Doesn't take anything. Now that you're aware of it and the yarn that's just tacked up there.
Let's see, where's my spell tracks at? Yup.
What are you doing?
I'm going to stand by Raven's door and knock.
I don't answer.
What door are you choosing to knock at?
23.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Nothing. No sound.
Raven.
Nothing.
All right, I stand in the middle of the hallway. Let's see, do I need to... Oh no, I need to see. Are there like keyholes you can see through?
You can always try.
Alright, I try to look through the keyhole.
It's dark. Whatever mechanism it isn't like an old school peer through keyhole.
Hmm.
It's more of a modern lock.
All right. You know what? I'll do all this in the morning. God damn it. I head back to my room.
Okay. You head back to your room, find your way annoyed, but to sleep. All of you get some rest. Zangulus, you meditate a little extra to just take a breather. You spend some time relaxing, enjoying more regular sleep than elven sleep. It's more of a, you can subsist on your meditations, but sometimes it's a luxury to actually sleep.
Sometimes.
No nightmares. Nothing seems to drag on any of you other than brief images of what you've been through that come and they come into your mind and then pass away, fading as you wake in the morning as a moment of, did I have that dream? But gone before you even get halfway awake. So, the sun is just starting to peak up, and all of you are waking up. What are you doing?
I am checking my door for any signs of traps or tampering.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
Oh, nat 20. Not a good time for it, but oh, am I sure.
You are dead sure that nobody has messed with your door in any way, shape, or form.
All right. I'm gonna...
Like, you're so good with this, you crack it open just a hair, and you're even able to see around the edges, and you know there's nothing really waiting on the outside. That door is safe as safe could be.
All right. I'm gonna crack it open and look around outside. Do I see anybody in the hall?
Not at this moment. No one else has said they've gone out into the hall.
I'm gonna leave the room, lock the door behind me, check the bathroom door for traps, and then take it back.
I'm gonna get dressed.
Roll an investigation. You're getting dressed, Garrett?
Yeah.
Or Carrick, sorry.
And getting ready to get out in the hallway.
That's a 5.
It's taken you some time to check this one, and you're really not sure if someone's messed with this door. Carrick, you, at this point, are going out into the hall. Are you checking for anything ahead of time, or you're just walking out?
I'm just walking out.
You see Raven over by the bathroom door, very carefully checking it.
Do I notice him?
He didn't hide the fact that he was leaving his room, so the door opening was pretty normal. So yeah, you would have noticed.
All right, I'm going downstairs.
Hello, Raven.
Nope, I'm going downstairs. I'm not even.
No,
not
wait.
Do you wait for him, or are you just walking past him?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear him.
She just walks right by you. You say, wait,
Oh,
wait, and
right
she's
past
down
him?
the stairs.
Oh.
No, wait.
Yeah, because the
And
bathroom's
I-
at the end of the hall. His door
Oh,
would be
I
here.
see.
So.
Okay,
I-
I'll wait. What? Hey, Garrett,
Raven.
what's up? How'd you sleep?
How about you come over here and rub this in your face, and I cast suggestion.
Oh, rude. Wait. Is that a charm?
Oh. good
It
point.
is. It is.
I have advantage.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Dice, don't fail me now.
While this is going on, I'm gathering all my stuff together and walking out of the door.
Natural 20.
Oh.
You are very aware that he just tried to cast magic on you and get you to rub that in your face. You are
I'm gonna.
like, it doesn't even phase you at all that he tried it. Like, you brush it off as if it's nothing, but you're very, very aware that he did it. You don't know if it worked at this point, Carrick.
I'm gonna reach out and reach for it as if I'm charmed, and then throw it in his face and run. I'm gonna fake it out though. I'm gonna be like,
I dodge.
ha!
Before that, roll me deception.
Oh, come on. 14.
All right, roll me a insight. Carrick.
20.
Go ahead and roll me a dex saving throw. You notice that it didn't work as she's grabbing this thing from your hand.
That's 23.
You get the hell out of the way as it splats against the wall as she rushes down the stairs after launching it at you. It wasn't the result you're hoping for, but the nasty, still damp cloth is there in the hallway that splatted against a wall, leaving a nasty smell.
We're not gonna be invited back to this hotel.
Zangulis, at this point, you're coming out of your room to witness Raven rushing down the stairs.
Good morning, Zangulis. Hi, bye.
Go make sure Flint's awake.
Wait,
Why don't you go and make sure Flint's awake?
I'm gonna go make sure Carrick's awake.
I am awake. I'm
He's
talking
right
to
there.
you.
Garrett.
Sure.
I will knock on Garrett's door.
As you go to knock, the door opens up. I'm clean. I'm rested. I'm a bit hungover, but I am beautiful.
Yeah, it's time to go. We're probably already late to be at the stupid docks.
Go for breakfast, yes?
No.
Breakfast to go?
Sure.
I can do this.
Yeah. Alright.
I will get the
Flint.
flint. I will
Alright.
get the flint. Flint, you've been waking up now for a little bit.
That's better. I
You hear him.
inspect my axe, but it doesn't seem to have regained its power yet.
Nope.
Not after 14 months.
I assume that I passed out halfway through eating my chicken, so there's probably some chicken left on the side.
Very much so. Yeah, that is possible. We can go with that. You
No,
find
little bit
half
more
eaten.
chicken. Little swig of whatever ale's left in the cup.
That's gone.
Yeah. It'll stretch and get my gear together. Like, I feel so much better. How we're doing for everyone's health, by the way.
Everyone's back to full. Your spells are back. If you had exhaustion, you lose a point of exhaustion.
That's just Flint at this point.
And you hear a light at your door, Flint.
Quiet.
Oh, God. So that's what sets
you
him
did.
off. I didn't even realize it. That's right. Because you use speakers.
Doge. Okay, done. Exhaustion. You still corrupt, I assume.
Yes, if you do have any of those points, you don't know what they do, but you do have them.
Alrighty.
All right. So you heard the knock on your door. For some reason, there's a dog in your room as you wake up. You don't know where the hell it came from. There's just a dog.
Doge.
Clint,
Yes.
we getting breakfast to go.
Yes, I have.
You open the door, you've got chicken in your hand. You see Garrett standing there. We get fresh breakfast. Hey, just come downstairs with the rest of us.
Fine.
Do you feel beautiful again?
I feel rested. I feel better. I feel fed. I feel ailed. I feel good.
So you feel beautiful.
I'll go with I feel good. I feel hairy.
As I said, it is beautiful hair. It is silky.
Okay, this is why I'm disturbed by the hair.
To each their own. And he walks down the stairs. You all find yourselves downstairs. Garrett walks over to the bar, which is... It has a few people coming in that appear to be placing orders for different breakfasts. A couple of the tables are used up. Garrett walks over. Raven.
I go over to Garrett. What's up, little man?
You collected a large pile of the coin?
I did.
That was for... Can you pay for breakfast?
Yeah. Look, don't... Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't be worried about me hoarding gold when it's something we actually need. I'm just keeping it safe.
We don't know if we need the breakfast. I don't know how much gold he actually has, so I wasn't gonna spend his. I don't have his damn character sheet. Not with the latest loot tables. Or with the latest loot on it. So he orders up breakfast to go. Different meats, sausages, and a working of breads with eggs between them, something of a sandwich. 5 minutes later, kitchen arrives and hands you its wax paper tied, and they bundle it up in a cloth.
And see.
They look over to you. 3 gold.
Okay. And then over.
Thank you. Thank you for your patronage. Will you be staying any more nights here?
Don't know.
Probably
We
not.
have a meeting with some dudes, and it depends on how that goes.
I'm gonna guess the answer's no.
Very likely chance we will not be coming back, unfortunately. We're kind
Well,
of wanderers.
If you could all turn in your keys, then.
All right. I'll give her my key.
Thank you. Thank you. And, you, sir? Looking over at you, Flint.
Yes.
Your key?
Oh, yeah, here you go.
Thank you. Collecting all the keys, you head outside towards the docks. The sun is starting to come up a little bit more so at this point. The sky is brightening, but it hasn't come up over the mountains. And you see the hooded man standing there, waiting, looking about, notices all of you and just sort of gives you a nod of recognition.
All right, we're here.
All right. It is time. Is everybody ready?
Are we going somewhere? Are you taking us somewhere to meet this whatever?
The Master Domo, who you've
Oh, yeah.
already met.
Yeah,
We're
that's
going
cool.
back to Tem.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're ready.
All right. We'll have but just a few moments when the portal opens, so you'll have to head through quickly.
Oh, more portals.
More? Well, see, you've experienced them. That should reduce your nausea a bit. And you see him start to hold his hand out, and that same blue arcane magic now arcs off of his fingers as he uses it to draw in the dirt of the ground, the sort of the dirt road area. Finds a patch and he starts carving in quick arcane symbols, drawing it out as he creates this circle around the whole group. As he does, he looks at all of you. Well, we'll see you in Tem. And you'll find yourselves in the barracks. I myself have somewhere else to be when I'm there, so we're going to split up the locations of arrival. Snaps his fingers, and you feel yourselves pulled as there's a blue flash before your eyes, kind of sparks.
Ah,
Flashbulb sort of going off. Takes a moment for your vision to come back, and you find yourselves standing now in a very familiar central area that was sort of the open air section of the barracks, which now has 4 arced points there and an etched in hard carved symbol on the ground, something magical and arcane that's glowing and slowly dissipates as all of you arrive there. You see heavily armored in full plate halberds at the ready, Tem soldiers at standing around this. They all hold it up in a defensive stance, see you arrive, and then relax for a minute, but they're still holding a somewhat guarded position.
the hell's going on here?
What are you doing?
Where are we supposed to go?
Major Domo.
As you say that, there's Angulus.
Yeah.
You hear, Master Domo.
Whatever, whichever Domo.
It's a title, it's a position, it's only right to get it correct. And there he is, standing there with the sort of bluish charcoal skin, the slick back, white hair, now a pointed goatee, same white color, and the bright, bright blue eyes of Master Domo Sekmoth.
We meet again.
And that's where we're going to take the break.
You're right, Gavin.
Yay.
Break.
So-
time.
Yeah, now you get to take a break.
Oh,
Food while it's still warm.
wasn't the guy who put the stuff on our arm, right?
He was.
That was
He
was.
was.
the other
It was the
stuff.
second one to do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not the original dude.
No, he's not the original.
Be right back.
I know in real world time, it's hard to remember some of those details because it's been, you know, a year basically since
Yeah.
you were in this location.
Yeah.
I know there's a Master Domo dude.
Yeah, the Master Domo is the one you're talking to.
Okay, and then the other one was a Major Domo.
Yes.
Okay.
Then there's Minor Domo.
You haven't met a Minor Domo yet, so you don't know if there is one. And you haven't looked into their structuring.
You are making shit up there, Zangulas.
I am.
Maybe he's correct, maybe he's not. You haven't looked into the political structure. Which you are fully capable of doing.
Yes.
I'm going to have to go back to my old notebook. I still have that right here, right? So, yeah, there it is.
I need to go back to consolidating because too many notes. Oof.
See, I'm just going back here to see what shops you went to last time you were here. Just to make sure. Knowing you guys, you'll go back to the same places.
Just in case we go back to a particular hat shop.
You didn't go to a hat shop.
Well, clothing shop that had hats.
You didn't go to a clothing shop.
We didn't go to a tailor?
You went to a private tailor.
Oh.
It was the Master Domo's private tailor.
Oh.
He took custom orders. He was up in the Palace District. The Castle District.
I mean, if clothing gets stuck to a particular party member again.
You never know. There's the shop names. There we go. See, I had to look this up because I had to remember what NPCs I put in there and what their voices were like. And there was one specific one that I had to remember.
Hmm.
Because there was a very specific voice, so. And I would not be surprised if you went there. Because to you, it's only been a matter of a few weeks.
Yeah. We're going to remember them better than they remember us, probably.
I will have my revenge on Raven.
Are you sure?
She's not here to hear you say that.
I will.
You can certainly try.
Yeah.
One of these times, though, it's going to go too far and one of you is going to end up dead in your sleep. Hint, it'll be Carrick. That's when Raven's eyes will turn yellow and her skin will get, like, all nasty looking. And then she'll go on a killing spree of children.
Okay.
The younglings. I was referring to Anakin.
Yes.
She'll kill all bardic children.
Are you implying that bards are actually Jedis?
Let's see. You tried to use mind tricks. You sword fight.
Yeah.
I mean, bards are kind of the Jedi-like characters to some degree.
No, a Jedi would be a monk paladin.
I'd say monk bard could also be one.
Possible.
Because then you get the speed for running. You run up stuff. You get more leaping. But then also you get mind trick. Mind trick is a big one. I mean, that's a staple of the Jedi. Plus, you also get things like Thunder Wave, which is basically force push.
Yeah. Slightly more brutal than force push, but
It depends on how much you hit with a force push.
this is also true.
And later you can pick up any spells you want, like telekinesis, so force pull. I've always seen bards as kind of... I played a bard for a long time. Bards have always kind of been the Jedi-like characters in their abilities to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
As chat says, drop kick, force push.
That's just how I use it.
You force push with your feet.
Yep.
But no,
I mean-
monks are obviously anime characters, if you look at them. Seriously,
yeah,
in 5th
no.
edition, you've got benders, if you take the elements. Seriously, you got earth, fire, water, and air bending. So they're benders. And you're an avatar if you take monk of that type, because you can use them all, so... You've got
They have
ninjas, which are the shadow monks. Then you've got sort of One Punch Man. And now they have the new monks, which are the, I can't remember, I think it's like the Monk of the Sun or something like that, which are basically Super Saiyans.
Oh.
Because one of their last abilities is they glow with a really bright golden light around them and energy coming off of, like, they go Super Saiyan, and they throw energy balls instead of
That's
punching, like
I
they
mean-
throw ki. It's like,
you know that Wizards is
they're DBZ.
doing this on purpose.
Yeah, I see that. I'm like, all right, monks are anime characters. They're all anime characters. They just took anime characters and went, let's turn those into a class.
Yeah.
I got a Kamehameha summon on them.
And Bart is just for whoever cannot decide what they want to play. So they want to play everything.
All right, everybody ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, you return to seeing Master Domo Sekmoth in front of you, walking in to this area as the guards relax a little bit more with him there. 14 months.
Yeah, that's what we're told.
Didn't feel like it.
Where did you go to?
Back in time, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently.
Come with me. We need to debrief and discuss this. And that type of information, well, you know where we're headed.
Garrett, this does not mean you're taking off your pants. It's not that kind of debriefing.
He was just starting to... Right, well, there's always time later. We have serious business, though.
Yes.
I say we follow.
I
Do
do
let's.
Following him through the hallways now, which are a little busier than you remember. And that's an understatement. There are guards here rushing through, both in the blues and golds, as well as ones wearing the black and silver coloring that he said were of the more elite in his personal guard. The guard for the king himself, him, any major important officials. So the halls are busy, multiple different armored groups moving through here, half-orcs, elves, humans, half-elves, races all mixed through, even a few tieflings here and there. As you see them, some with robes and hoods up with the patch there, some in full sets of armor, others with bows across their back, leathered armors. But all of them moving through to specific areas. You hear orders being barked out as they're moved to different locations throughout here as they peel to the sides occasionally to allow Master Domo Sekmoth through, with you following behind him, and 2 of those in black and silver personal guard. Following through the hallways, he leads you to a very familiar set of doors as his 2 guard take up posts outside. The doors open as he moves his hand in front. And inside you're led to that same table where you first had met him. Where he first talked with all of you. And you saw the runes on the walls. The room that is considered to be more secured. He steps inside and holds his hand out for you to join him.
Sit down at the table.
I will sit.
Yeah. Sit down.
Garrett finds himself a seat. Flint?
Yeah, I just chill. I will take a seat.
Okay. He steps through, closes the doors, and moves his hand around, muttering something very quietly as he maneuvers his hand almost in patterns. As the room then, you see the symbols come to life. All right, we can talk freely without worry of being spied upon. Though the building itself has wards, this has extra protection. So through time?
That's kind of what it seemed like, yeah.
Explain.
It's kind of hard to explain. We really don't understand it that much ourselves.
We went to this town, Fastador, right? And they were having all kinds of issues, and we solved them, but that also took like 2 years? I don't know.
It didn't take us 2 years. It took us maybe a couple of weeks. We're not really sure. Time didn't exactly move normally there. But for some reason, we were gone 14 months.
We tracked you heading south from Milbao, which I must say, good work there. It has provided us with a strong outpost. At this point,
Thanks.
we have fortified the city, increased security, built the walls, and the militia that was started under yourselves and whom you inspired has joined as a permanent stationed guard there, unless they are needed in emergency capacity elsewhere. So
That's good.
that does cover a portion of our territory in a way that hadn't before. So thank you. But as I said, we tracked you heading south, and then nothing.
Yeah, we found some kind of... I don't know. There were a lot of words thrown around, like portals, pocket dimensions. I don't really understand it. But we were taken back to a time somehow before, or like not long after the rending or something. It was really weird.
None of it made
The
sense.
rending.
No, none of it made sense. But we had an inn named after us, so hey, that was fun.
What did you accomplish there? Because you mentioned it took you a couple of weeks to accomplish something, but
We killed a lot of zombies. We lifted the curse on the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, there was a curse on the city. We forgot to mention that.
I won
We
a fantastic
we
fist fight.
we unleashed a possibly godlike figure who gave us
But that's
a
not
lot of
important.
money.
That's irrelevant.
The,
Has nothing to do with this.
who is this figure?
She's big, shadowy. Hat
Name?
beats me.
It was Agatha. Does that ring any bells? Does that ring the wrong kinds of bells? Because maybe I was making that up.
Does it ring the right kind of bells?
Hmm.
She made it sound like she was around before the rending.
No, not as far as I can tell.
She's unleashed now. We'll see if that goes badly or not.
He's making it sound like a bad thing. It wasn't that. I don't think it was a bad thing. She was just trapped, and we let her out, and that was it. She was very happy.
She was nice.
She gave the dwarf his beard back, so she couldn't have been bad.
Yep. And she gave me this. Added winter warmth.
Hmm. So, nothing else done to you by this thing?
Not that we're aware of.
Nope.
Hmm.
I was older briefly, but that went away.
I got better.
I got better.
Were there perchance ghosts or no?
Ghosts,
Yes.
Yeah,
There
lots
was
of ghosts.
Definitely
lots
go.
of ghosts.
It
That
was a
would be an
haunted
effect.
graveyard. What do you want?
Look,
That
I
would
can-
be an effect of the ghosts, so that wasn't
much soul.
whatever this thing was.
What else happened?
I got my soul was something when I feel a bit wrong inside myself.
Oh
like-
yeah, he probably needs a young and an old priest. In fact, most of us probably do.
I'm sure one priest would suffice.
Nope, young and old.
Young and old. That's how we do it in Iskamir.
Excuse me.
It was
Excuse
dumb.
me.
It was
Baking powder.
In
Really?
where?
that was a bad joke.
You know where I'm from.
Don't bring it up.
Anyway, yeah. We fought a lot of ghosts. Some of us lost pieces of ourselves, probably.
A lot of us lost a little pee out of ourselves.
That too.
Some of us gained a little pee into ourselves.
We made a friend who passed away.
Rest in peace,
Keyth.
Keith.
Very quickly.
This friend. What did they. What was their part in all of this?
Oh no, they were a key.
They opened
Like
the
they
door.
were key with legs and like eyes, and
Literally a key.
yeah,
Yeah.
we had to use the key, and you know.
He fell apart. But he opened the door for us so we could escape the haunted graveyard.
An animated object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood. Well, from our end, seeing as I believe I understand what has occurred there, and as you said, it was completed, we'll send specialists to the area to make more determinations.
Oh, and it was
Though-
night all the time. Did we mention that? It was like never sun, no
Forever
sun.
night, if you want.
It was yeah.
Hmm.
That's why we're not sure how long we're gone. We were
Kind
gone.
of depressing, really.
Yeah, it was kind of awful.
Yeah.
Well,
Hopefully puzzles. Puzzles.
as I said, we'll send specialists to make a determination further. From our end, the reason things are a bit more dire is, as I said, it's been 14 months.
Yeah.
The preparation time gives you 10 now. We are in desperate need of allies, as well as you will want whatever's needed to assist in your special operations once the full assault begins. Money could buy you access. Equipment could help you gain access. Allies could help us keep the distractions further from you, making entrance and approach easier.
Well,
So-
where do you want us to go next?
There are multiple options.
Last place only took us 14 freaking months, apparently.
Make sure you don't send us somewhere that has pocket dimension this time, or we might not be back in time for the war, apparently.
We just knew that there was an issue in that region. Now we know what it was. You've discovered that. We can clean up any remnants, hopefully. Though, apparently you've brought forth some form of an entity.
Hmm.
It's probably nothing.
It's probably fine.
Probably.
They-
Mostly.
Totally didn't say the gods were chumps.
So, I'd suggest you do some research amongst yourselves.
To do what?
Figure out where you go next.
Yeah, you never told us where. Like, do you have a list?
The entire southern portion of the continent.
Do you have a map?
There are maps available, yes.
Do you have a map with notes?
Is he always so much of a smartass?
Yes.
Yes.
Now you
Well-
see why it took us so long. Is this
At
thing
least-
right here?
No, we don't have a map with notes. Though there may be information if you look around here. All of our resources are prepped into planning the war. If you check into it, it is possible issues have arisen and messages were received, though filed. There are independent regions that ally themselves with Tem and could
Oh, well.
possibly give more assistance. There is a large amount of land out there and many, many people in it.
Well, fine. We'll need access to your scouts and see what they can dig up. We'd library. Library would be nice.
Scouts know, library, yes.
Mm.
But we need to know. Like, are you expecting us to go in blind?
That is why you're a specialist group. That is why you are handling these situations, and why a favor will be granted at the end of this. That is the most powerful thing that we could give to someone here. A favor
So-
directly from the king himself? A thing of your choosing?
So
Maybe-
you're saying you have no information about these regions from any scouts?
As I said, there may be information filed away somewhere. However, our focus is on planning. They are not our main focus right now. Our territory is secured with Millbale and now Fastador, which I directed you to. Everything else further west is more independent or lightly allied with us or in outskirts territory, and thus under the protection of a local militia should it choose to be formed.
All right, fine. Do you have a map right now?
On me here? No.
Can you get a map right now?
A map we can bring into here and discuss, rather than discuss it out there.
I can
Exactly.
have a map brought to you.
No, we need like map now so we can look at the map and we can
I
talk
will
about it.
have one brought to you in here.
Right, good.
And you
Go ahead.
Dabbed.
have a...
Him, not you.
Remember last time when I told you to treat me with respect, half-elf?
To be fair, that was apparently like 40 months ago.
And to you, it wasn't. Roll me a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
Not 20.
Jeez.
You see him hold his hand in front of him.
Trying to force choke you?
You have become more powerful.
Yeah, we have. So
Roll it
maybe
again.
Don't try that.
Roll it again.
No.
20 again, not nat.
20 total?
Yeah.
You all of a sudden are bound up, lifted straight up out of your chair. And you aren't as powerful as you think you are. Remember whose presence you're in and when to treat people with respect. A smart mouth isn't going to get you into a lot of places. Respect can be helpful. So this is a lesson you should learn well. And he flips you upside down and slams you straight down onto your head into the ground.
I swear, the more times he hits his head.
You are doing us no favor.
14 points of damage as your
Oh.
head splits open and just starts bleeding. You feel your body release and crumple as your neck has been compacted. It hurts like hell. He turns around, looks at all of you. Teach him respect.
Yeah, good luck with that.
We've been trying.
Yeah.
A map will be brought to the room before you. Opens the doors, walks through, and then he, behind him, pulls his hands hard, and you hear him just slam shut.
Well, you done pissed him off.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, Carrick, but I don't know that that was the right tactics.
It's not my fault he's such a negative Nancy. Garrett,
I think it is your fault. Is such a negative Nancy.
Garrett, please. Ow. Oh, that's a lot of blood.
Just let him suffer.
Hold on, let me make sure I've got the best viewable one for you. And that's going to be this one. Just after not but a couple minutes more, the doors open again, and you see someone dressed in the blues and golds, a page-looking person, leather cap, younger, mid-teens, boy, light brown hair just sticking out a little bit from the cap, and he brings the map, just puts it down on the table in front of you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Where's the domo?
He's not there.
I think he's coming back.
He better. The whole point was we were gonna ask him where he thinks are the most important locations to go to.
I think the problem is he doesn't know.
Yeah. I think
What a
that's
shit military tactician doesn't know which parts of his country are the most important for a military campaign.
And that's why it's a good thing he's not in here. Because he's focusing on his military strategy, and he wants us to focus on the subterfuge, if you will.
Apparently, they have no clue how to run their own country, but sure. Let's fix it for them.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
All right. I put the map into...
Oh.
Ooh.
And if somebody wants to set up an image... I've shared this map before, but...
You have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have that map, but I don't know. The one I have doesn't have that bar, that
The
legend
text at the bottom? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting the map into fan art. So if anyone's in the Discord, you will be able to see the map that the players are referring to. It's a reason to go to the Discord.
That's the wrong Discord.
Go to our Discord.
Bad rolls.
There we go.
So now you see a map before you, and to give a description to everyone out there, sorry, it's taking me a minute to pull all of this up, because it's a big map. All right. I got to zoom way in because this is actually a really detailed map that I've drawn out. You now find yourselves looking at a continental map labeled as Alisir Arai, the continent on which you are. You can
familiar.
see now the markings aren't actually on here for people that are looking at it, but I can describe to you what areas are TEM controlled. The entire eastern side in the green, essentially, the better land looking area, that's TEM. So from Ignatius at the top down to areas which are Capisi, so Fastador, TEM proper, those are all in TEM control, as well as how did I label those? Deoncha and Faban, which are sort of territorial outposts. They're colonies on land that they found eastward, which were added in a little bit to the map. So that is all of the territory of TEM. Basically, Milbel was considered a too small of a town, so wasn't mapped out initially. There are small townships all throughout. These are the major locations. However, there is a small mark that's been placed where Milbel is in those hills, which you know is the Honeyed Hills.
All right. Well, Carrick looks at those maps and go, all right. So Iskimir is obviously going to favor a naval attack because that's what they do. We've already done Fastador and points to Fastador on the map, which is here, which means unless they're not securing, I can't see what the legend says. Lyre track, the M.
The M?
Yeah.
Ignatius.
Ignatius, yeah. Unless they've secured that.
Ignatius.
Ignatius.
Yeah, Ignetrae.
Oh.
Yeah, unless they've haven't already secured that, but he was talking about the south. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of doubt that they've already fixed that. Then our next place to go would probably be Bastion or Bastionov. The legend
Bahamut.
is really Bahamut. The legend is kind of weird, kind of difficult to read.
Yeah, it's on purpose though.
Oh. Who wrote this shitty map?
Because they're not getting through the Sea of Umberlee anytime soon. Or if they are, then that area of the map is fucked. Anyways, so
At that point, you hear Garrett speaking up. What is this you say about them saying that they might get to the Sea of Umberlee and that the western areas would be fucked?
Well, because this Khmer favor a naval attack. If they would be able to get through the Sea of Umberlee, there would be no defense there from a naval attack because it's the Sea of Umberlee, and normally nobody would go through the Sea of Umberlee. So
These
I would
could be bad.
expect I would expect most cities there don't have much in the form of naval protection.
What's so bad about the Sea of Umberlee?
It's maelstroms everywhere. It's stormy, it's shitty, like no smart sailor is going to go through there.
Gotcha.
So, unless we're thinking of a hypothetical scenario where apparently the Escumerians suddenly have magic boats despite hating magic, then I think
Well,
we
they've
should-
already demonstrated that they'll use it even though they don't like it.
Yeah, but I still think magic boats is kind of out of their MO.
But if they have a magic boat, I mean, you're probably right. It's probably unrealistic that they'd go through there, but
However, if they want to go through the east, they have to go through the bay with Tamis. And I feel the bay is already fairly secure.
You remember on your
So-
first approach that they had not only the bay completely guarded by the mages on carpets, which could be fast patrols, but they had multiple naval ships patrolling the area, and they were the one seafaring military that was capable of going toe-to-toe, if not winning, because of their magic use, which was far more powerful than what Ysgramir had most of the time.
So taking this into account, east could be safe if we're thinking of military positions to go from. Depends if we want to pursue this idea that they might have found a way to cross the sea. Anyone else have any military input?
trying to.
I have no military experience whatsoever, man.
No.
I have a big axe.
Everyone just roll me straight up wisdom.
Hey,
Oh, natural 20.
at least somebody's rolling well.
My straight up was that's a 21.
11.
Wisdom plus modifier 15.
And you, Carrick?
Oh, 18.
Except for you, Zangulus, who you're just drawn in by the map at this point, now having a much larger version of it than the one that was in the glass, a little bit more detailed out, with locations placed on it. You're focused on that. The rest of you kind of start to remember, though, when you first met the Master Domo and the request that was placed on you, which was not so much handling the military section of it, which is what he was going to handle and Tem proper was going to handle. You would handle getting stuff for insurgency, insurrection, and dealing with any sort of issues that might pop up in the territory when their military initially was spread too thin. So your stuff is more subterfuge and getting allies and resources to be a sort of special forces team. Whereas they're handling any major military stuff.
So don't worry about it.
It's up to you if you want to take it on, but that was the request that was placed.
All right. So, in that train of thought, that they could somehow cross the sea of Umberlee, I think our next location to go to would be Alsabir, which I think is what it says there.
It's not
Which
exactly
one is that?
south. That is-
Southish.
That is really far away. That's a lot of desert.
Yeah, but if it's the largest city in that region, if we want to help the eastern region, the southeastern region even, that would be the place to go to because it's the largest city. If that's fine, then
Just a thought.
Excuse me.
Bloody wars, I just killed bloody beasts.
Wouldn't it make more sense to take a boat around and hit up these other towns? The one that looks like a skull. I don't know what kind of town looks like a skull.
we're going by boat anyways. But
Well, I mean, if we're going to go by boat, then we might as well hit the areas on the way to Alice Bar.
yeah,
Correct?
that seems fair to me. Just take the boat around. Hopefully, it won't take 14 months.
Yes. Let's hope it doesn't take 14 months. Is that Squire still in here?
He left after he dropped off the map.
I mean, we've got to ask somebody how long this boat trip would even take.
I pop my head outside and see if there's anyone around.
As you push on the doors, crack them open just a bit, the two elite guard are still standing there, swords at their sides for these ones with
What's up?
shields.
Any of you sail a lot?
When necessary.
Okay, so I get the map and hold it up. Okay, so we need to get from Tam here.
This is a large map, so it's not this.
Yeah,
it's this.
I'm holding up like this. Okay, so no, wait, Raven, come over here. hold the map up.
All right.
So
As-
Raven's hold.
As you go through a bit of a Three Stooges moment, trying to squeeze through the door and hold this giant map up and position it, you do so as they're just kind of looking at you and...
All right, look here now. We want to sail around the bay to Alsabir, stopping at this place, Bastion Bahamut.
The ruins?
We don't know where they are.
I wouldn't recommend stopping there.
Why is it on the map?
What's wrong with it? Why is it on the map?
It's an important location, but we'll leave those matters to the clerics.
Undead. Okay, we're not going there. We're sailing all the way around. How long does it take to get to Alsabir?
The Kalsabir?
Yeah.
Hold on, pull the map up. That's T, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's Elsabir, not Feek Elsabir. All right, so that's this. Let's see. All right, so it's that. It's quick calculations. Hold on, I actually have to do math for this.
So we don't want to go to Bastion.
I'm not the only more undead.
Okay, it's equal to that much. All right. Hold on, I'm looking up because this is something that I haven't looked up in a bit. Speed. Yes, this is what I'm doing as a DM. Speed of sailing ships.
Your average boat's not going to go very fast, if that's what you want to know.
Oh no,
I have
I'm
a
checking.
little sailing knowledge.
I know. I'm looking at exactly what it is.
A fast boat in that sort of time period, no magic, obviously, would probably be like 20 knots.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Those are the fast ones. So
Yes, those are not your large sailing ships. Those are only
Yeah.
going to go like 10 at the most.
which is let's do, 1.15. Okay. So I'm doing math here to figure this out because these guys would be looking at it and hold on. You there, boy. Fetch us a chart.
So your
Yes,
sailors-
someone that knows the chart. Someone that knows the. You know who we're talking about. There's a few dozen of them. Go get one.
See, this is why I want to access the resources, so this would go faster.
If we left from Fastador,
So that's
we're probably
approximately.
looking at 1,000 miles.
We're not leaving from Fastador, though. We're leaving from 10.
It would be better to leave from Fastador.
Yeah, but then we have to go back from to Fastador.
What's wrong with that? They named an inn after us.
I'm
um,
just saying. Leaving from Fastador, 1,000 miles.
all right, you see someone with sort of a feathered little cap that's drooped down, blues and golds over, just a tunic, ink on his hands, slightly pointed ears. He comes running down the hall with him. Yeah, yes, I was summoned.
Yeah, we're wondering how long does it take to get from Fastador to Alzabir by ship?
From Fastador, okay, hold on. So this is in the distances. Let's see if well, what type of ship are we talking? There is a variance in speed. It does matter.
Obviously a fast one.
Yeah, the fastest you have.
Well,
That can have a crew of 5, maybe some experienced sailors, so slightly larger. We need food for the trip, but obviously a ship would be that size would have enough for that kind of food.
The
Yeah.
fastest type of ship would likely not be sailing from Fastador. It's a small port cargo. It's resupplies. It's cargo. It's meant for larger ships, longer journeys. If you want fast, you would have to leave from here most likely. This would be the location.
Fastador is a port city, and so is most likely Alzabir, because it's right here on the map at the sea. Are you saying there's no shipments between them?
They're slower ships. They're shipping ships. They're meant for cargo, not speed. Maybe you could
Ships.
find one, but the faster ships, to be perfectly honest, either they're very specific for bringing something of extreme value, or they're military.
All right.
What's
Right,
the
well,
easiest way to get to Alsabir?
Easiest, fastest, I mean,
Easiest.
easiest, honestly, be at this point traveling through the deserts.
but it's so
Caravans
warm.
travel that way all the time. It's
That's a lot of desert.
It's a lot. Yeah, like look at this map. See this like big area here? That's desert, and desert is warm.
yes.
And I don't want to end up stranded and have to like pee on my clothes and put it on my head, and like be without water.
Why
I
would
don't
you
want that to happen.
pee on
Oh,
your
we could pee on your clothes for you. That's not a big deal.
It's a survival thing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. The deserts are not as harsh as you say. Do you not see these markings? They're general. They're not expressive of all of the oases in the region. That it's not as horrible as you would say. It's unless you go out there wandering blind with no knowledge of the region.
Yeah,
Each
I'd rather-
oasis is half a day's travel from another.
I mean, we're basically going out to the region blind because, well, we're asking you now. Like, we're getting information from you, but
as I
nobody
s-
else is really lending us information about anything. So we're more or less blind here.
As I said, the caravans run through that region all the time.
Yeah, we could go on that caravan.
So I'm finding a caravan. We could do that.
Fik El Sabar is almost as large as, well, not to the rate we've grown now. It's been some time, but Fik El Sabar is the place for all of magics that we know of. This is where our mages go to train. It's it would not behoove them to have an unsafe travel route to that location.
How about your portal mages?
We have some that know of teleportation techniques, as far as I know, and I just do maps. I handle charting times and maps. I don't know what you want from me.
Calm down.
I'm sorry. As I was saying, we're basically going in here with no information. So far, you're the only one that's giving us any valuable information. So,
We were told they want us to go south, but there's nothing south. I guess there's some undead city, I guess.
Raven, you had that nat 20 earlier, right?
Yeah.
You did go south and handle the situation south. You remembered them clearly talking about a situation in the south. You've already been to Fastador.
Yeah, but he said again he wants us to go south just now.
yeah, earlier he did actually say.
Yeah, you
wants
did
us to
say
go
that.
south.
I said you handled the thing in the south, not go south.
Well, in any case, all right. Well, if you handle the maps, is there anything here you'd like to point out? And I point like the big area, the south west area we're going to. It's like anything, any notable villages, any forts, is anything.
The notable locations are marked.
Oh,
Out in the
Right.
deserts between the oases, it's nomads mostly. The established locations are marked for a reason. They're the established ones. Everything else might be a starting village that is coming up, or,
Yeah, where are those starting villages?
I don't know they're starting. They aren't marked on the map. I haven't gone out there myself to chart the entire region.
Why not?
Hey,
All right, no,
I
we've
just
tortured this
read
poor man
them.
enough. Yeah, just, all right. Thank you for helping. We
Okay.
need to find someone who knows anything. Where is Master Domo?
I don't think he's gonna help us anymore.
Oh, fuck you too. And he walks off.
They're gonna hang us at some point.
Of course they are. But we're gonna be big fucking heroes, so it doesn't matter.
As we're swinging from a rope.
All right.
Anyway,
What are you doing?
we might as well go search through their notes that he says that they've stored somewhere.
Yeah, we'll head to the library.
Roll up the map. Take it with us.
All right. You grab the map, leave the room. Where are you headed to?
Well,
Library.
I hope everything we need's in the library.
Okay. You walk out of the barracks then, finding your way through the hallways, people rushing about still. Outside into now the upper district, the palace district of Tem. You see again the houses that are all representative of the people here, some that are spiraling glass and crystalline structures that are formed in solid and beautiful, others that are very much, if you would think of an old Greek temple in their styling. One's made of the bloodstone from the region and smoothed out. Some that have had soil brought in and grass-covered hills, essentially making halfling homes in this area on those plots of land, very built up and beautiful. So you find yourselves out into the main thoroughfare up here, and to your north is the palace itself. This huge, magnificent castle that has been a mix of pure white marble, precious metals throughout it gleaming off, and the bloodstone mixed in, giving it this shifting pattern of a look. It's designed to trick the eye in the way the colors meld, so you're never sure just how far you are from it, and it makes it just stand out whenever it's looked at. It shows off above all the other buildings. There, beside it, to the east and west, are two large structures back there. And then the houses leading back. Behind you is, to the south, the gates leading into the main city and the 4 districts, as well as the ports, and then back out.
Right? Walking to the library.
Do you know where the library is?
We have a map.
Not of the city.
Wave down the nearest guard.
Yes, sir.
Where is the library?
Don't know. Never had call for much reading. It's
Me either, brother. Me either.
holds a fist out to you.
Is there any other guards that know where the library is?
Maybe.
Does anybody know where the library is?
I'm sure the people that go to the library know where it is.
Do
Other
you
people-
know
How about
anybody
the
who goes
marketplace?
to the library?
Where is there a marketplace nearby?
The bazaar's back out there,
Okay.
as well as all of the shops that make up the merchants district.
Maybe that's a place to start. Because we're going to probably find a wider mix of people than just guards who stand around, no offense, all day.
I'm on patrol. I'm not standing.
Shh. You need to speak in simple terms with Carrick.
He just hit his head.
I walk the streets and hit bad guys
That's-
with the sharp
you.
thing if I need to.
He's a little simple. He needs small
I,
words.
I kick Raven in the shin.
You want to start something?
Is he
We can
getting
get
violent
rid of
with you, miss?
Yes, he is.
Oh no.
You need to behave yourself. She's looking after you, simpleton.
No.
Hear that? The nice man wants you to behave.
He's already been dropped on his head once today.
Just kind of looks over at him and notices the blood now trickling, like dried and caked in his hair. I'm gonna continue my patrol.
That would be best.
Good luck to you.
Thank you for your help.
Please do. Don't walk into a wall because you apparently don't know fucking directions.
Oh my
Be
god.
nice.
He's gonna stab
That's-
you.
Those aren't nice words.
Oh, he's rolling for stabbing.
Oh no.
You see the sword pull part way out and his hand shake a little bit before he slams it back into the scabbard, deciding not to do something about it at this moment.
I start pushing Carrick towards the bazaar. He has a condition. We're just gonna leave now.
Condition's
Thank you
called
for your time. Carrick, shut up.
All right.
No, this whole town's not gonna want to talk to us.
At this point, I'm gonna be fine with that.
Heading southward, you find yourselves going into the gates where some of the elite guard are actually standing by. They open them upon seeing you approach. And you can see they're looking at you very intently as you move through. You head out into the streets and you can see now the thoroughfare where the taxis run across the city that you first took when you arrived, and beyond it, the tents of the bazaar that are set up before you actually get into the main, like, established shop locations and prominent buildings that continue as far as the eye can see moving southward.
Maybe
What do
the
you wanna
elite
do?
Guard can help us. Pointing to the elite guard.
Or we wave down a taxi because it's their job to know directions, and apparently the guards don't.
It's not their job to know directions. It's their job to keep us safe.
Anyway,
It's their job to keep you from stealing stuff as well.
How long has it been since I've stolen something, Carrick?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
taxi.
As you try to wave one down, they just keep going by.
Oh, great.
Takes you a minute to remember that they use the specific spot locations, sort of bus stop style, to
Oh,
pick
yeah.
up and drop off their specific taxi locations. Because you have to buy those specific tokens to ride the taxis. They don't take straight up money, so the drivers don't have cash on them.
God damn it. All right. Well,
Do we still have a token?
do we see like any like delivery folks or anything running about? It is a bazaar after all.
Roll an investigation.
12.
Looking about and trying to find someone, 15, 20, 30 minutes, Carrick is attempting to interact with different people who are busy attempting to sell their wares, and in finding out he's not interested in purchasing, is looking for directions, seem to brush him off. So it's been about 30 minutes at this point, and
Okay, sir.
still no luck.
I'll buy a goddamn apple if you just tell me where the library is.
I come from the farmlands. I come to my location here. I mean, hold on. Let me see. Let me do something real quick. So, okay. Hold on. My son's a reader. Jared! Jared! Small, maybe 10-year-old boy comes out. Yes, Papa? Where do you get those books that you read? You know, the things that aren't farming. Well, there is the library. The guards sometimes are nice enough to let me go to if they're not supposed to. But, it's up there. And you get, excuse me, you can see as he turns around and points up over into the Palace District to the left-hand large building beside the palace. It is not marked in any way specifically. It is just a very large building that is sitting there next to it. They have lots of books up there. I go in there and read sometimes. I bring them fresh food and they let me read the books I like, and they tell tales of adventure and dragons and just cool new places. And that's enough, boy. Well, that'll be 10 gold.
For what?
An apple.
An
They're
apple
very
is-
good.
An apple is not 10 gold, sir. I just look at him. It's like,
Just put it
It's
in
not.
10 gold.
Roll persuasion.
that would be 24.
Jeez. You're right. It's 9 gold.
Well, how about you just go and stick it then?
Oh my god.
Carrick,
Eric.
you're gonna get
I'm not-
arrested over an apple.
Okay, I'll give you 2 gold, which I know is way more than those apples are worth. I'm not giving you 9. I would give you 2 gold because your son told me where the library is.
Persuasion at disadvantage.
Oh,
That is 22. My first roll was a 20,
oh,
But- but the second one was a 16, so it's fine. No, wait. No, that's 24.
Fine. 2 gold. Hand it over.
I give him 2 gold.
There you go.
It's a wormy.
Have a
apple.
nice day.
I give you a
Let's
sweet-
leave.
Have,
I'm leaving. I just turn and go. Muttering about
you have a
Carrick.
nice day too.
Friggin' Carrick.
Oh, I will. Raven, go ahead and roll perception.
Ooh. 15.
Something that is not being too subtle at the moment and you become keenly aware of is the fact that there are 2 guards now there that the man has been signaling to very subtly to a degree, but enough that you've picked up on it, as well as one of those hooded figures with the patch, and you see him hold his hand out as the guards look over, and he directs his hands towards Carrick, and you see a small illusionary form of Carrick appear in his hand as he holds it in front of the guards, and they nod and talk to something. So
Oh my gosh. I stop walking, go back to the guy, slam 8 gold on the counter, and walk away.
you are very generous. Thank you.
Oh, Carrick. And I catch up with him and kick him right in the butt.
What?
You just about got arrested again. They were calling the guards over because you stole this guy's apple.
No, I didn't. An apple is not worth 10 goddamn gold.
No, it's not. The information may have been, but we're in a strange town. You're getting us into trouble. We don't need more crap, especially not here.
This place sucks.
Yes. So let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Find the stupid
that's what I
library.
want to do.
Well, we have to play by the rules, all right? I know
This
that's
is coming
weird coming
from-
from me.
This is coming from Raven.
Yeah, like. Sure. Say that again. I want to hear it again.
What?
We are being watched in this city. You don't go messing stuff up when you're being observed. You wait until they're not paying attention. So,
Mhm.
don't make me say it again. I don't wanna.
Can we please go to
I'm-
the library?
I mean, I pick up a rock and like.
No.
You sure you don't want to say that again?
I covered for your butt. That
Can we just?
God help me, that might be the last time I do it. So,
Okay, if you keep making trouble, I'll put you on the floor myself.
Let's just find the goddamn library.
yes,
What we're trying
Let's-
to do.
we don't need to cause trouble here. This is a huge city.
Library.
Library, let's go.
You walk back, taking your time to cross the taxi thoroughfare to the gates where the guards that were looking at you intently were making note, apparently, of your faces as you had access before they allow you back in. So the elite guards seem to be very well versed in multiple different aspects of paying attention, noticing situations, keeping a keen out on things, and they were able to remember you. It's only been a few minutes especially, but they knew right away. They were able to spot you from quite a distance off and were ready to open the gates. So you're led back inside as they close them again behind you, take up their defensive positions at the gates that go into this district. You're standing there in the main walkway that goes between what looks to be all the, essentially it's, you know, the main residential street to a bunch of mansions in a gated community type of spot.
Just keep heading toward the library.
Right.
Yep.
Walking through all of this, taking time to watch some of the architecture and, you know, taking a moment to breathe after things have been so hectic and relax after things got a bit contentious. You walk further back and head to where the boy had pointed it out to you. So you heading to that building, see a very large, it's think of a courthouse in Greek revival style sort of building. It's that, but about 10 times bigger in its scale. The doors in front of it could let multiple giants standing on each other's shoulders through.
Jeez.
Ew. Big.
This architecture is meant to be imposing, and now getting up close to it after having spent a half hour walking all the way to this back area, you notice the palace next to you towers over this. Tem is immense in how it is set up. You could get lost for who knows how much time in any portion of this area. It is imposing
Obviously.
and yet almost a showing as a gift in the way it's displayed.
Obviously, they make them so big so they can make up for a shitty sense of direction.
I think they're just pretentious.
Does it have to be mutually exclusive?
Let's just go in the damn library. Walk up to the door then. Does it...
Walking through, it's an open doorway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Walk through into the library.
Yep. You see multiple people streaming in and out of here, and as you get inside, holy shit, is this ever a library? There are rows and rows and rows and racks of scrolls and bookshelves upon bookshelves upon bookshelves that seem to go to a point of endless. The amount of information in here must be beyond staggering. And in the center of the front of it all is a very large marble desk with multiple of those very same robed-hooded, patched persons working there, though they're quite obviously older than the other ones you have countered. Probably still very capable, but have gotten along in years and have decided to retire to something a bit more quiet. Though occasionally you do see someone younger in the robes working here, likely apprenticing or studying. Mostly those are the people here, though occasionally you see some very finely dressed women and men of all sorts of the races, again, walking through here. Access appears to be more to those in the upper class, though they do have some with them, some that are obviously servants and others that looks like ones that they've almost took into tutelage. Almost a sort of mentoree situation where it's obvious that the person as a mentoree is underprivileged, but they're taking upon themselves to advance them in some way, shape, or form, not as a servant, but as someone that they brought in that with potential. The desk is manned by multiple people, and here you are in a holy shit library.
Anybody know where to start?
I can't even really read proper, so don't look
What?
at me.
What are
I'm
we-
sure they have picture scrolls as well.
What are we looking for?
Information on the towns in the area that they've gathered and have decided are now pointless for their war efforts.
So, maybe a geography section?
Sure. Maybe.
I don't.
News? Do they do papers here? I'm not really from here. Do they do like, a paper, like a news scroll?
Maybe we can find a librarian that can help us out.
Yeah.
Because we're apparently a bunch of savages. Garrett, do you know anything about libraries? Libraries.
I know a few
Library.
things of the sort. I had to do some studying, though this place is far bigger than any sort of entrance I have ever been inside.
Well, maybe we can find
I
somebody
do
that can
know
help
of
us.
libraries. Typically, as didn't you know him? Didn't he go to a
Yeah.
library back when we first met him? And
Oh yeah.
in the
Couldn't
place?
keep that guy's tentacles out of a book.
yes, but there was a person working there, an older gentleman. These older gentlemen here, they probably can help direct us.
Probably.
Probably. Let's go ask them.
Raven and I would go ask them, or Zangulis. Flint doesn't read. You rocks, don't say anything.
Yes. From what I've heard, libraries are a place where you're quiet and don't throw things. So try to restrain yourself.
It's even going to be loud in here.
If you get loud, you'll probably get kicked out. So, Garrett?
It was your idea, Raven. You talk. I come with.
Okay. Is there like a front desk?
There is. That's that large desk that I said was
Oh.
in the center there with the multiple old gentlemen. You could tell by very long white beards. The skin is much more wrinkled.
Okay.
Multiple different races here, all working this desk, men. And there are a few long bearded women behind the desk that are a bit shorter. Flint, you definitely take notice of that.
Hello. I stroke my beard hair, my arm hair. Good day.
Don't tell him you don't know how to read. Anyway, I'll go up to the desk and see if one of the gentlemen might look like he wants to help me.
As you approach, there is someone that moves over to that side of the desk and looks down at you. Yes, young miss, how can I help you?
Yes, sir. I'm looking for information about cities and towns in the area. Like, I don't know. Like, it's for research purposes, like military strengths and strategic areas.
Military? Are we talking historical? Current events? As there's been more interest with the current ongoings.
Current events.
And you were talking local towns. Are you talking Tem?
All over. Mostly like the southern areas, but you know.
Oh,
Not-
in the southern portions of the continent.
Yeah.
So you said either historical or current.
Mostly current. I kind of want to see how the cities are faring in these rough times.
We have had filings recently on the current markings. Information brought in that could be used as public articles for those that wish to distribute news to the town. Things filed away. All this information has been deemed not necessary to the war efforts and classified. So it is open to anyone. If you wish current, let me see. And you see him pull out a very, large tome. This thing is stacked, ridiculous. He focuses for a second, though, and it just starts flipping through pages on its own.
Ooh, fancy.
As he
I try not to
focuses,
look
it
at
then
this.
stops in an area. That would be... yes. Those shelves, well, back there, little bit back there, more back there. 12 shelves down that way and 3 in on your left would be sort of the southern sections that are not Tem. So 12 and 3.
All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I walk up afterwards. It's
Oh
like,
no.
I walk away quickly and pretend I'm not with him.
have you
Yes.
ever considered a number and a letter type of categorizing your shelves?
Why is he talking?
They shift around too much to be numbered and lettered. Based on necessity, the categories are rearranged in the book. The shelves move.
So the shelves are magical.
Yes?
Neat.
It allows us
also-
to shift things as necessary and for protection.
Also, because she forgot to ask, information on the southwest areas as well. Are they around the same area?
Those would be in the section, yes, you said southern, not of Tem. So that would
Yeah.
include the southwest, yes.
So Alsabir, stuff like places like that.
Let me think. Alcibir it's been a while since I've traveled. Oh, yes, I remember the last time I went to Alcibir. Oh, there was this wonderful brewery. It was somewhere midway into the town. Oh, there were the finest young lads there. We had many a story to tell and drinking games to be had. Oh, and we chased the women all through the town when I was last there. Oh, it was a fine time. Not to mention the food. Oh, I ate myself into oblivion. Ah, the studies of a young mage are just so difficult. And he kind of drifts off and starts walking to the side of the desk while talking about that, just randomly rambling on.
Does he walk anywhere particular, or
He's just moving along the desk now away from you a bit as he's continuing to mutter to himself about a memory long ago in Alcibir.
this place is infinitely unhelpful? I mutter to myself, not loudly.
All right.
All right. Well, I follow the rest to the shelves we've been directed to.
Okay. As you walk in that direction, you do find 12 down, 3 in shelves that here there are tags marked under each one on small scrolls of paper that are waxed over, and the letters within them seem to shift almost magically, as if the labeling itself can shift and change as necessary. And through here, there is information labeled for Alcibir. There's information labeled in this part for Harb Ali's, as well as for Fik Alsabar. So there's labels for those 3 locations in here.
All right. Where do we start?
Everybody grab a city.
Guess so. I'll grab a Fik Alcibir.
Okay, you grabbed stacks of scrolls out of there, bundled up. There are tables that are set between the shelves for people to be able to sit down and research right there with blank parchment and quills. So the library is well outfitted for researchers and anyone to come in. It looks like it's more meant specifically so you will take notes and maybe not remove the information from the library. There are signs up asking you to be careful with the.
I look at the last section as like, wait, Garrett, can you take that? I need to head over to the desk for a second.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it. I have something else to pursue.
Fine. I will take Alcibir. You have. Singulus, you have which one? Fik Alsabar? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Alcibir. You have Fik Alsabar. Raven, you want to take one of these?
Yeah. I'll just.
Well, if I have Alcibir and he has Fik Alsabar, then that leaves Harbelis. So
Okay.
starts taking them down and puts them in front of you.
I head back to the front desk.
All right.
I don't have a good feeling about this.
If he gets himself arrested, I'm not helping him.
Nope.
So you approach the front desk again. What are you doing?
Yeah. Is there anyone there?
There's multiple people there.
Okay. I wave someone down.
The older gentleman that you were talking to before recognizes you. Yes. Did you find
Yeah, we found it.
Alcibir is in that location?
Yeah, we found it. Thank you. I would like to know where your section on the Sea of Umberlee is.
Oh. Let's see where it's located now. I don't know where the seafaring section is, but he pulls the tome over and holds his hand out and starts flipping through. 28 on the right and 2 in for historical information on the sea. Historical.
Any more current information or
Current seafaring events.
no? I'm any material on the Sea of Umberlee, like anything. Mythical, historical, current.
The historical and mythical is the 20. What did I say? 22 and 28 and 2? 28 and 2. I think it just moved. Does that sometimes?
All right, I'll.
That's historical and mythical. 28 and 2 down there. It appears to be steady.
Take some notes.
And current events, ocean-faring events, Western Oceans. It got moved next to it. 28 and 3. They organized it in category this time.
Convenience. Thank you.
So, there.
Have a nice day.
You too. It's good to see young people interested in historical lore and information. And I had a trip on the sea once, and
I walk away as he goes on another. Yeah, I head over there.
All right. What are you looking for over there?
I'm looking for research and studies on the sea specifically.
Anything more specific than on the sea? Because that's a pretty broad topic.
On the specifically the maelstroms and stuff, like the cursed part of the sea.
Okay. On the cursed part. All right. Roll me an investigation. Everyone else that's also doing research, roll investigations into those regions for me.
I tried to start the research. I may have ended up asleep in a book.
Flint was turning one of the pages around and slowly seemed to get mesmerized by just trying to focus on what the letters meant. And you see him just passed out there on a scroll. All right, what'd everyone get?
10.
19.
Kirk?
19 plus 1, so 20.
Okay. And Garrett actually got pretty good. Which section were you taking? Was it Zangulus?
That center town. Sorry.
Feek Elsabar.
Yeah.
All right. Searching through, you don't see anything that stands out too greatly. The usual reports of intermittent missing people, but it's a large area and there's a lot of magic going on, so people tend to disappear when that happens. Sometimes it's illegal, but in flipping through the pages, there's a lot of notations about the local magi, as they're referred to. So it is the magi, and the magi there are pretty restrictive as to what can go on in that area. So if something's going on, it's either them supporting it or it's someone really good and under their noses. And you don't see any signs of that. Most of the stuff is either just generic small-time disappearances, small crime, and them handling their business and ready to help out Tem to some degree if they can, from the notations you saw.
That town is very, like, Tem positive, though, right?
As far as you could tell.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me one more.
Oh, that was much better. 19.
From flipping through that, on the surface, there are reports of it being temp positive. However, you do see one notation page in there that there's some kind of undercurrent going on that is trying to promote isolationism and that their own internal capabilities and powers are, well, way more than either Tem or Ysgramir because of the amount of magic that they have in their possession, and just sort of let the two of them deal with each other, and we can either mop up or keep to ourselves, whatever we feel like. What do you call it? It's a subversive party that's starting to form. It's sort of subversive groups that are starting to pop up here and there. And it looks like they're, in the report that was listed, the Magi are looking to stamp them out, but they haven't been fully successful. So that's about the most of an issue that you've seen, and it was just a one-page report. It wasn't mentioned multiple times. So
Okay.
either there were no more reports filed on it, or that person couldn't file more reports on it.
All right.
So that's what you got out of that. Raven, what did you get and what were you looking into again?
I got. Oh crap! Where'd my map go? It was on the west coast. Mm,
Oh, okay, so you had Harbalis. Then. That's right, you had Harbalis.
yes.
And what was it you rolled again?
19.
19. In flipping through, there's some suspicious stuff standing out to you a little bit here and there. Though you don't know the region too well. However, it isn't western where you might expect it, because Carrick had gone on about a lot of the dangers of if they got through the Sea of Umberlee. No reports of anything oceanside. But there are reports of something going on in the deserts to the east. Something that has interrupted occasional caravans, caused issues. The Magi aren't willing to step in, really. They're kind of like, because Harbalese doesn't have a ton of money. They don't produce a ton of stuff that they care about. They kind of ally with Tem to some degree out that far, but they're very frontier town. Very far to the west. So they're mostly on their own independent types. Something is coming in the reports going on in the desert where supplies and trade going to them is getting interrupted and messed with. And they've been prodding out and looking for help from some source, but what they have to offer isn't much in the offering. It's not like they have a 10,000 gold bounty on something to figure it out. It's like, help, please. So they've been trying to use essentially their mayor. They don't even have anything above that. It's just a local elected official to reach out and try and find assistance. So that's what you find in your notations. Garrett sitting there with all of you is looking at the pages, and I don't see anything. Garrett was insistent, but I don't see anything too heavy in Alsabir. It doesn't appear to be. The information here says bad things are going on in a big way. Bits of local crime. Interruptions to trade sometimes. Let's not worry about this town.
Well, since we got to cross Vikasabar first anyway, it does sound like there might be something going on there. I don't know if it's important or not, but I think we need to talk to Major Domo again.
Hate that guy.
I know, but it's best to have support when we go somewhere rather than not.
Yes.
And now Carrick, in flipping through the pages, looking into the maelstroms essentially of Umberlee, what you find is a lot of lore and history around what was the rending. where the gods had interfered in the prime material plane in these stories, and they were punished for it. They were not supposed to be here. They will interact through other means when working with the different races in the world, but direct appearances of them or a large amount of force off of them causes consequences, essentially. It has backlash and side effects. And that the Sea of Umberlee was actually because not Umberlee showing up, but Farlane. Farlane had tried to interfere in something. They don't know what, but there were notations in what you were reading through of Farlane having appeared as an avatar. He didn't go down in full force of himself, but quite a bit of his energy was put down through. And the consequence of that was his opposite, Umberlee, got to do a little bit of something to it, to the world, because of what he did. And the side effect of him showing up was the counterbalance of her creating the Sea of Umberlee from a calm and easily traveled place to a hell maelstrom of an ocean. Navigating it takes extreme skill, extreme knowledge, and extreme luck. Even the best of sailors going through there have a lot of luck on their side if they ever make it through. Trying to navigate it is almost certain death. It is basically a barrier of travel. People don't generally try to make it unless they're absolutely in last-ditch dire straits.
All right. Do I find any specifically on recent attempts to get through or research or anything?
You see a few notations in recent markings of an attempt to travel that route to see if there was a safe one. Essentially an excursion of volunteers that Tem sent out with a ship specifically built to make the trip. They utilized separate funds and a separate sailing crew from the main Navy to just see. And they have had no word back from them. So they abandoned the project. They're like, nope, still bad.
I don't think I've learned anything new. Certainly still a worry. Especially with those new technology things they seem to be developing over there. All right. Carrick gathers up his notes and head back to the rest of the group. And of course, put all the books back.
All right, you put your papers, your scrolls, your books back. And the rest of you see Carrick walk back over to you.
Where have you been?
Looking into something. Wasn't anything important. For now.
Probably not, knowing you.
No, knowing him, it is important. He just doesn't want to tell us.
Well, I was just looking into the Sea of Umberlee. See if
Of course,
there's...
why not?
Yeah.
You
said
want
it
to
was-
know if they're going to try to attack from that direction.
Yes. Which in case we really do need to help out the West, because if there does happen to be an attack from there, the West is gonna be helpless.
So if I roll the map back out on the table and look at it, well, the most likely point that they would attack and have a reason to attack would be this town up here closest to them. Only I can
Yeah.
read this crappy handwriting.
Just roll me intelligence, Carrick. Just straight intelligence. Just make an intelligence roll for me. You too, Zangulus.
I am rolling way too high today.
I rolled well too, though. It's not
That's a 19.
18.
All right.
No,
Zangulus, you
no.
spot it first because you were kind of heading there. And
Sure.
Carrick, you realize at this moment, looking at the map as he rolls it back out in front of you, the only way that Ysgramir has that it could get to the Sea of Umberlee was if it crossed the entire continent east to west and then tried to navigate it by doing that. And then it would have to build all the ships over there because there is no passage that goes east to west without going down around the tip of the continent. It doesn't go over, and it doesn't go under without an extreme amount of travel time. And this continental map, this section of the continent, this portion here, this continent Elisir, you know that from stories there's more of the map. You're just not exactly certain what's beyond because you've never really had a time to pay attention to it. But yeah, traveling there with Ysgramir, probably not likely.
You said they're very seafaring, so the most likely approach would be just straight down. And the most likely town for them to conquer first would be that one.
Which is...
I don't know, I can't read this map.
Yeah, me neither. It's illegible. What have you found?
Well, that main mage city. The only thing I found of interest is that it sounds like some of them might want to just isolate themselves from the war completely, and that could be a problem if that actually happens. Because it sounds like they're very powerful. Sounds like they're very powerful there.
That is actually possibly the most important issue right now, then.
Yes, I would. I mean, we gotta go through that town anyway to get to any other point. It looks like, unless we go to that town to the north. So hitting there first to find out what's going on and trying to put a stop to any potential problems. From the sound of it, this town could take care of itself if it wants to and not give a damn about Ysgramir's war and hatred of magic.
Alright, what have you else found? Everyone else?
There was nothing.
Flint, you're getting drool on the books.
What?
I think Raven found some stuff too.
Yeah, there's a city over here on this coast. That nobody's basically helping them, but their supplies shipments are just being intercepted or something. They're not getting their supplies, and they're just kind of being left to fend for themselves, basically.
Ah, sounds like someone making rescue. Big kill. Can we finish reading crap now?
Was there anything about Al-Sabir?
There was no trouble except for few stolen property, items, cargo, shipment, theft here and there. Nothing that wasn't handled by the local authorities.
Alright, well, I think our most obvious plan then is we need to go to Fik Al-Sabar and then head on to
Harbalis.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. My only other concern is this town up north. But I suppose we could talk to Major Domo about it.
Possible. Well, I don't think Major Domo is going to be like, oh no, the sea that nobody can pass.
Well, but that town is directly below Ysgramir territory. they'd obviously be the first place attacked. I mean, it'd just be silly to pass them up or ignore them.
Well,
But
the thing here is that while they might be the first ones to attack, they don't have pressing issues to deal with right now. So after we're done in Harbalise, we can see about going there.
Yeah. No, I think the Mage Town is the most important.
Yes.
Because we've got to secure them. We've got to make sure they stay. on
So,
Tim's side.
is that where we are going then? Fikasabar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Flint, you get to see cool magics, and there might be things to smash.
Ah, yes.
So, really
Bring
cool
on
magic
things to
tricks and things to smash. You'll like it. You will love it. It will be just up your alley. And you too, Raven. Like I said, the magics. You do those things now with the wavy, smoky, dark. It's scary. You do frighten me.
All right.
Let's resupply ourselves, go talk to Major Domo, and head that way.
All right.
As you leave the library, ready to embark in the next area of adventure, figuring things out, and talk to a few more people. That is where we're going to leave this episode of Bad Rolls, since it is now 5, and I really got to go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
So yes, that's where we're going to end it for tonight. It was more research heavy than I thought it would be. But sometimes players got to plan their next move. Because,
Yeah.
it's a big wide open world and I'm not going to spoon feed content.
Well, we got to decide where we're going to go murder hoboing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I got a little bit weepy-eyed when I saw my hometown on the map.
Oh,
Oh.
It's a long freaking way away, though.
yeah.
Yes, it is. Your hometown is a very, very long distance away, but it is on there.
I have not yet redeemed myself sufficiently to allow me to return.
So, for all of our audience and our wonderful, wonderful viewers, until next episode, which won't be next week because we have a couple players out, try not to roll any more ones. Have a great one, everyone.